All right, good morning, everyone. We're back with day 2. Looks like Edwin's still warming up, so we'll switch over and watch Riley and Sean. We're at the Q Sports Live first annual Invitational $10,000 added 8-ball Take What You Make tournament. We're playing at the Leather Pocket Billiards in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And just give me a second, I'll get these comments loaded up so I can follow along with you guys. We do follow along with the YouTube and the Facebook chat. I'll have Grant Zemp sitting in with me this morning for probably an hour and a half or so. I am up on the next set of tables. I believe I'm about 6 tables away. So I got comments up on the Facebook now. Guy Nicklin. These 2 matches streaming today. First thing this morning, we have Sean McKay, Riley Poche. Sean is originally from Medicine Hat, lives in the Red Deer area now. Riley is from Kamloops, British Columbia. And on the other table we have Paul Beatty versus Edwin Montal. Edwin and Paul are both from Calgary, Alberta. So Sean McKay here was one of our seeded entries. His Fargo is over 700. So we had 15 seeded entries in this tournament. These are A-side matches, Chris. And good morning, John, Brian, Terry, Ryan, Glenn, Chris. Welcome, everyone. I am still on the A side, Mike. That is correct. I had a bye first round. I was one of the seeded players. And then I played Mike Dunn around 10 o'clock last night, and I won 9-3. So I play today around 1 o'clock against Steve Kirikakis. Good morning, Ron. Good morning, everyone. If you guys could all click that share button for me, that would be greatly appreciated. Share it to some pool groups you're a part of, to your friends and family. There's going to be a lot of really good matches. We have 4 really good players to start the day here. Riley's been playing great lately. So Mr. McKay with the ball in hand here. And yeah, Guy, I got lucky last night. You're right. There was a few racks there that Mike handed me. I broke and ran my first 3 breaks, which was good. I got lucky that I had a look at the ball that I made. Good afternoon, where you're from, Kevin. Welcome back. Mr. Pittman, welcome back. So Sean looks like he's going to try to play another little safe shot here. Opens up the 13, and I think he's blocked the 7, but Riley can see this 6 ball down here on the bottom left of your screen. And thank you for sharing, Mike. And I'll do my best to keep it going. It's going to be a tough one for sure. This is one tournament where you're happy if you just make the money, but I'd be thrilled to get deep in this event and play some of these superstars. What's up, Jeremy? I did get lucky shape a couple times too. Guy, how did you know? I played pretty steady. Few good outs. Was up 7-0 pretty quick. Mr. McLean, Barry in the house. One guy that unfortunately couldn't make it to this event but was invited. So Riley can see the 7, and I think he's going to try to play it off the 11. No, he's just plugging over there. That's not bad, but Sean can get out from here. He'll pot the 15 near that left side, get an angle on the yellow 9 ball to go into the 11. Open that up. He'll just need to figure out what angle he wants and where he wants to open the 11. You have to have a good plan here, because that 11 can go to a lot of bad spots and not a lot of good spots. Guy, Nicklin, I'm crushing it down the middle if I can get a good rack, and I actually took quite a bit more time racking, just trying to make sure I don't slug myself. Cass, not quite 3rd highest. I'm 9th highest in this tourney. Can you believe that? I can. There's so many good players here. 9th highest. Morning, Gordon. And thank you for sharing, Kevin. Appreciate that. Saturday morning pool. So Sean just tried to chip that ball out with some control, but sort of bounced back in there. Got the worst of it. And really the first good opportunity to win this game goes to Riley. Nothing really in his way here. All the balls lay well except possibly the 1 ball. It looks like he's thinking about getting on the short side of that right now. Yeah, I think the 7 is the correct shot. Get rid of the 7-6. Could possibly leave the 6 there. He should probably shoot the 1 ball right now, I think. I think I would shoot the 1 ball here while I'm on it good. And you can play this with just middle ball. The shape is pretty natural to come across for the 4 ball next. The 3 should lead you to the 6 nice and easy. Thank you, Dave. And Jill, appreciate that. Good little touch from Riley there. And this is going to give him a perfect angle. That was a really, really good shot to use that 11 to stop the cue ball and give him the right angle. So now he has the choice to play this with draw, being a little bit of low English, possibly a little bit of left. Or he can go forward, playing topspin. I tend to like the draw here. It takes away the pocket. That being the bottom right corner. Guy, I think Derek's playing right now, or possibly the next set of tables. He's playing right now against Tyler Steyer on table 4. Riley's landed a little bit straight on the 6, but I don't see it being too much of a problem. It's close enough to the hole you can cheat the pocket a little. And if he doesn't like that, he can sort of punch out a bit, maybe 6 inches off the rail and take the longer shot. Morning, Rod. We'll have to get you in doing some commentary today, Mr. Arigata. Good morning, Rob from Winnipeg. That is correct. It's only A-side matches this round. O'Reilly played a really confident shot there to spin all the way down to play the 8 in the side. Use the whole pocket well. That's what you got to do to come out strong in the first rack. And we received these shirts today. You might see a couple players sporting them. Let me tell you, these are amazing, amazing quality. So soft, light. This is the best pool shirt I've seen yet. And well worth the price. That's a very, very fair price he's got up there. So we'll switch you guys over to watch a little bit of Edwin and Paul Beattie. I believe Edwin is up 1-0 here. And this is Paul Beattie at the table right now. What's up, Mr. Farhat? Another guy we'd love to have in the booth later on, maybe today. Sit in, do some commentary. So Paul's going to work out these low balls. He's sort of on the wrong side of this one. He'd rather be on the other side, but he can use the 14 with some draw, get him out off the rail, just like that. So we'll see if he follows through here to get on the 7, or if he plays the draw off one rail to get on the 2. I think the follow through onto the 7 is the right shot. He overcut it a little and he's plugged the 2. Shouldn't pose too much of an issue. I think he can draw back here and play the 2 in the lower right, or possibly the same pocket he's playing the 7. He's going with the safer play, which is take the longer shot. And that's the smart play, because all you got to do here is just pot the ball. You don't have to worry too much about the cue ball. It should naturally stay underneath the 8. He overcut it a hair, so that cue ball went a little far, but he should be okay here.
Not even close to that.
Good little out from Mr. Beattie there. I think that'll tie it up at 1. And he says, no skunk. He celebrates the no skunk. Another one of our advertisers for this event, Novak Flooring, guys. He's got his phone number up there. You can shoot him a text, give him a call. He does hardwood, engineered, laminate, and carpet flooring. And his workmanship is super high quality. I've worked with him quite a bit over the last 3 or 4 years, and he does a fantastic job. If you use the CSL discount code 8910147, get 20% off. I'll send you guys back over to watch Riley and Sean here.
15 seated.
Looks like a pretty fair chance for Sean to tie this match here. Looks like he's forced to shoot stripes, but they don't lay too bad. That 9 ball is in a bit of a weird spot, but with the balls down near it, it tends to be a little easier to find a way to either get on the short side of it or break it out. He didn't want to push the 8 onto the 12, though, because now he's just created another problem. So he'll roll this orange 13 in and get on the 15 to bump the 8 away from the 12, or possibly play the 12 in the top left. Depends how straight he gets on this. So I think he can roll through this and play the 12 in the top left. Try to get the right angle to play off the top rail over to the left-hand side rail and play the 9 in the top right. And that's assuming the 9 doesn't go in the top left from a good angle. It's tough to tell from our view here. The other option is play shape to bank the 9. It's really not that tough of a bank for a player like Sean McKay. Awesome, Sean Wilson. Yeah, you could maybe sit in and do some commentary as well. We'll take all we can get. Sean knows the game as well as anyone. Yeah, he's got lots of room here. He played the perfect angle. Shape on the 8 to tie it up. It's a tidy little out, other than when he bumped the 8 ball a bit. And I have a feeling this match is going to be fairly close. Both these gents are playing real good right now. Another guy that's playing pretty good in this event, Jeff Jelena with Gelco Plumbing and Heating. Plumbing, heating, gas fitting, and air conditioning. He services Calgary and surrounding area. He's got his phone number up on there if you want to give him a call. Tell him Q Sports Live sent you. So we're back to Edwin and Paul Beattie here. Looks like Edwin's working on the second win. Slow roll with juice, going into balls. He's going to have a tester on this 8. This looks like he doesn't have much of a pocket, and shooting over this 2, if that 2 ball moves, it's a foul. There's an impeding ball rule here. Very tough to stay accurate on these shots. And that 7 looks like a beach ball from there. Sharon, I made out good yesterday. Won one match. Had a bye the first match. Won my second round A-side match. So I'll play it around 1 o'clock today. And hopefully I'll be able to sit in with you guys for the entirety of these 2 matches. Well, I don't know why Paul would play safe there. He should have shot the 4 ball in. I've seen Edwin come out with too many wizard shots to play safe on that shot. Yeah, Riley and Sean McKay, A-side match. This is an A-side match as well. We'll have another set of A-side matches around 1 o'clock. And then we'll have the B-side matches starting around 3 o'clock today. That's Mountain Time. Good morning, John Garner. William, they are pushing those leftover balls into the pockets just to try to randomize them as they come out the tray. So you're not getting all the stripes on one side, all the solids on the other. We did make a pattern rack rule here where you can only move 2 balls once you rack. Once the balls are in the triangle, you can only move 2 balls. The 8 ball and one of the bottom corners. And that's just to avoid people pattern racking. I don't think there's anyone in here that does that, but it's been known to happen in tournaments before. Looks pretty simple for Paul here. I think he needs to shape the 3 ball here and then just send the cue ball around off a couple rails to shoot the 4 on the left side. But he's going to be a little too straight to do that, so now he'll need to maybe just shoot the 4 first or punch the cue ball off the rail a bit here. Shoot the 4 in the lower right. Sean wants to know, when's Jason up? Which Jason? There's a couple Jasons. Lou, yes, Len is here now. This is not Len on the mic, this is Ben, but Len is here. And yeah, Corey Duell's not here. And Paul couldn't make it, Jesse. We invited Paul Pache, but he couldn't make it. We have an extra referee in the room. Mr. Wayne Knight came down. He was going to come watch. We told him bring his stripes. He can help us ref as well. A bit of a tester here for Paul. He just doesn't want to hit it with flat stroke and go into the 8, I think, is what he's worried about. And that's a pretty good shot. That's not easy to do. He made it look easier than it was. That's a good little finish there for Mr. Beatty. Put the second game on the board for him, sorry. Another couple fantastic players from Calgary, Mike Burton and Mike Abou, with Mike Burton home team. Remax Realty Pros, these guys are the best in the business by far. If you're looking at buying or selling or getting a mortgage, you can find all their contact info on Facebook, or you can send us a message and we will get you in touch with them. Yeah, Duell is the best pattern racker for sure. He's done lots of studying on it. And good morning, Lou, and thank you. I will do everything I can to stay on that A side. You got to stay there as long as you can. So we're back over watching Sean and Riley, and Sean looks like he's got a bit of a tough shot here on this 3, shooting over the 6. I believe he's shooting solids. He is indeed, and watch the 6 ball. There is the impeding ball rule in this tournament where if that 6 moves while you're stroking this, it's a foul. He did really well there. Really, really good shot. And yeah, William, it is a great way to randomize the balls. You won't see all the players doing it, as it's more of a rule. If you're getting complaints about pattern racking, then absolutely must do that. But I know, like, for instance, when I played Mike Dunn last night, and I play Mike quite often, and we both know how the other racks, and there's no ill intent there, so we just did what we normally do. But it's nice to keep it even for everyone and try to keep it simple so it's easier to police. So he'll just, excuse me, he'll just roll this and I think play the 6 on the side next. And it looks like he's okay here. Might have just that slight angle where he can just put a little bit of draw on this or just roll in and take the cut. We got Mr. Wayne Knight in the house. Came down to watch. He's getting called to ref a shot. And that is on the table. John Mora is playing Greg Cairns on table 6. Sean makes that 8-ball. Speaking of Mr. Mora, he's kicking at an 8-ball. Jam Up Apparel, he's rocking a pretty nice shirt today. Check them out online, guys. jamupapparel.com. Johnny kicked at that 8 and fouled. I'm sure we'll get to see some of him maybe later on today or tomorrow, but we'll get to hear him as well. He's going to sit in and do some commentary probably later today. And so we're back with Edwin and Paul here. Edwin's looking at tying this up. 2 balls and the 8 left, I believe. Oh, he is shooting stripes. And we got Mr. Zemp in the house.
What's happening, everybody? Sorry for leaving you abandoned here this morning, Benny.
Oh, no, you're good.
I got a billion things on my mind right now.
I quite enjoy doing this in the morning to get my mind working.
Absolutely.
So it's actually really nice to sit here and like try to break down racks and
yes,
get the blood flowing, right?
yeah. Get the thought process worked out.
Otherwise, I just sit like a vegetable somewhere waiting to play, right?
What type of vegetable would that be?
Yeah. Carrot.
A carrot? Nice. Not celery?
No. Celery's got too much water in it.
Oh.
Is Edwin playing pool much lately? Not really.
No.
Edwin's more of a poker player than a pool player now, but
Yeah. He's still deadly, though.
don't sleep on him because he's still got a lot of skill, as we saw, I think, a couple of years ago at Four Bears, and he wasn't playing much, and he showed up there and took 3rd place to like Corey and Roberto or something.
Yeah. It was ridiculous. Hadn't picked up a cue in 4 years.
The nice thing for Edwin is he has a good sponsor, Nick's Cue Innovation. Make sure when he's not playing, at least his cues are being kept in pristine condition.
Absolutely.
Because we know he'll never switch to like a carbon fiber shaft or anything.
No.
That's way
It's beyond.
out of his range.
Yeah, I agree. And good morning, Mark. And Neil, yeah, Jason does some amazing commentary. He'll be on at some point this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have John, Jason,
Tyler.
Tyler, yeah. We'll get a handful of people today.
Absolutely.
I think we'll have Rod Arriagada on here later.
CSL Winnipeg in the house.
CSL Winnipeg is in the house.
And you know, Ben, I'm going to do it right now because I don't want to forget. But I have to say thank you to you because I know that you've done a lot of the commentary on your own, and I really haven't done a lot of commentary. I've got a ton of stuff to do.
Which is fine, and that's, I mean, the thanks all go to you for making this happen anyway. You put more work in than anyone on putting this together, so I'm happy to do this.
Appreciate the effort you put into, right?
But this is easy for me, right?
Yes, but I still feel like I'm shirking my responsibility a little bit on commentary, but
you're absolutely fine.
I've got
just wait till I go really deep in the tournament,
yes,
right? And then,
yes,
and then
that's
you'll
right.
need to. So.
Unless I'm there with you,
right?
Then we'll have to rely on John Mora and Tyler when we beat them.
Well, you're going to have to play a lot more because I'm going to stay on the A side.
I will have to.
Well, if I get through Steve around 1 o'clock today, I most likely play Jason Klatt.
Yes.
So we'll see how long I can stay on the A side. If I could beat Klatt, then I'd be happy already. It wouldn't matter what happened after that.
Yeah,
right?
You know what? I mean, you've got the skill, brother. I'm telling you.
Well, and I think there's a breakthrough coming. It's just a matter of time, right?
I agree.
Before I'm snapping those guys off consistently.
I agree. Is the Thumper booth open yet? He's not here as of yet, I kind of feel bad for Richard. He tried to get on a plane yesterday and only had his passport card, not his actual passport. So they denied him. And he drove straight from Vegas yesterday to get here. And as soon as he got here, he ran to my place, had a quick shower, and came straight to the pool hall. And I think he's probably a touch overtired. So we appreciate his efforts, but it will be open at some point today. There are a few Thumper cues that will be on site, ready to purchase and ready to ship out if you're online and want to buy one. But that will be a touch later. And for anybody that has bought a Thumper and is waiting for them, we have them. We will get them all shipped out on probably Tuesday.
Tuesday,
Yeah.
Mike, I'm going to be shooting with that Jacoby Black for a long time. You won't see me playing with anything else for a while.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, until it lets me down, which I can't see it ever doing. The cue ball, these are Cyclops balls, so that's the Cyclops Red Eye cue ball.
Oh, Double R, brother, we wish you were there too.
Just a quick rule clarification here again, of course. We get a few more of these today, I'm sure. And hey, Deborah, Ronnie Redding. And the question was, if the table is open, can John Jorgensen play an 11-5 combination? And absolutely. As long as you call the 5. But I see where the confusion comes in, because if I make a solid on the break and I'm solids, now I can't play an 11-5 combination.
Right.
I have to hit a solid first.
Thanks, David. I don't know if you responded to him.
Who knows which one it is with the better voice? No one really knows.
That's what happens, and I've got morning voice on, so we probably sound very, very similar this morning.
You play quite a bit later today, right?
I do, yeah.
5 o'clock, I think.
Yeah. It'll be sometime around dinner time.
Perfect.
Anyone try out the Q-Tech Synergy?
The breach break cue? No, I haven't.
I haven't tried that. We're on the Thumper.
I've tried the Thumper, though, yeah.
Yeah, that one is, as far as I'm concerned, it is the best break cue and the best jump cue on the market.
It's done wonders for me.
Yeah.
Still doing wonders. I was breaking great last night.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just watching these guys break, and I'm thinking, okay, I better step it up a little. So I practiced all week with my break. Well, not all week, but when I had time.
For sure. And Todd, I haven't said good morning to you. I see you're on YouTube. Good morning. I know Ben's probably said good morning.
Actually, no, I just saw that too. Morning, Todd.
And here we are, guys. We are locked, loaded, ready to rock and roll again. It is the Q Sports Live Invitational 2019. Hopefully an annual event. Hopefully more than an annual event, depending on the outcome of a deal that I'm working on.
But definitely annual. We'll do this again next year. It'll be in Calgary again.
Yeah. And then we want to kind of spread our wings a little bit and take this show on the road. And we'll cross borders in Canada. We'll cross borders internationally. Go down to the good old US of A.
Well, why don't we just have it in, like, Jamaica?
Oh, that'd be
Dominican.
Nice. That'd be nice. That would take probably a 2-year plan, but
that would be a little tougher, and we might not get some of these guys come play,
but you might, depending on the cash.
But I don't really care if they come play.
Yeah, we'll be there.
As long as we're in Dominican.
We'll be there.
We only got 6 players. I guess we'll sit on the beach.
Right.
What a shame.
Yeah, darn.
Great
I
little
guess
finish
we'll have
from
to take
Riley
the money
there.
and run.
Take the money and run. We're just talking about the Jacoby Black Shaft. We can order one for you guys if you're interested. They do take a little while to get your hands on, but well worth the wait.
I can tell you, I was talking with Brandon last week, and the demand is insane. I won't be able to get my hands on those until November, and that's if you put your orders in right now. So believe me when I tell you, there's a reason that they are that far backed up.
They are hot.
They are amazing. Can you update us on how Ryan's doing? We honestly haven't heard Jill. We know he's back in the hospital. It's not, I'll say it's not serious, like it's not a heart attack or stuff like that. But it does certainly affect his health. It affects what he has the ability or inability to do. And yeah, we haven't really heard any updates. But I'm assuming he's got to be doing better. Anytime he goes into the hospital, he's always getting better.
He's on the mend, yeah.
It's trying to figure out how to maintain that outside of the hospital.
Yeah, they just need to get the medication and the diet proper, and then he'll be okay.
Yeah, Phoenix would be much easier with the same weather.
No, not quite.
Not quite.
Same weather, but
Yes.
just not ocean.
But it's not Jamaican.
There's no ocean.
There's no
There's no
ocean.
beach.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there's a beach in Phoenix, but
yeah. But
not that kind of beach.
yeah, not Jamaica sand.
Yeah.
But I mean, Phoenix is a real possibility. We were down at was it Bull Shooters in Phoenix?
Bull shooters, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Huge hall, huge hall.
Massive place.
Yeah, we could do some damage in there with this event.
Well, thank you, Shirley. Appreciate that. We do what we can.
Yeah, we certainly put our efforts in.
The players make it easy. Look at this. We're watching Edwin Montal spinning the cue ball around the table. What could be better?
Do you know what shirt the other Darcy's wearing today? I brought a couple just in case.
We'll
Yeah.
bring sand
There
in
you go.
just for you.
You truck in the sand and make
Yeah,
us a
but
blue ocean.
Yeah, it can't be like a little kiddie pool full of sand. It's got to be some pretty decent sand. We're talking beach style sand.
Yeah. Yeah, not like
Yeah, you can't
salt.
fill up like a little kiddie pool and say that that's Jamaica sand. I mean, you could import it in a kiddie pool. You could import Jamaica sand, but not enough.
You're probably wondering where this $5 came from.
No, I know you guys did a side bet or something.
We're making $5 side bets on matches yesterday. Just friendly, right?
Yeah, good stuff.
Just something to sweat. Good times. Yeah, this is a real treat getting to watch Edwin because he doesn't play much anymore. So
You know what? I'm so glad he decided to come out and play and kind of support it and all that kind of stuff. I'm really glad to see him back holding the cue.
he's a legend. This is where I learned a lot of my game.
Absolutely.
Is from trying to beat this guy.
Yeah. Trying is the
Oh,
operative word there.
cow.
The guy is an absolute beast on the table.
And I was lucky enough to, I probably have a really good record against Edwin where nobody does.
No, I remember.
Billy,
So do you remember the
I think
hideout?
Billy said his record against him is probably like 5-50 or something.
Yeah, it's crazy. Do you remember the hideout back in the day? So there was a tournament that was there all the time, and that's
The
where
Friday.
yeah, and that's where I played a lot
Yeah.
with Edwin, and I played a safety that I thought there's no way you're escaping.
Yeah.
You are completely in jail.
Yeah.
And he Efren Reyes me and went like 3 or 4 rails around, hit a ball.
Did
I'm
it
like,
to me too.
what the
He did, and
ever loving.
And there's some shots that I'll never forget as long as I play, and Edwin has one of them.
Yeah,
And we were here
at leather.
when there were valleys in here and not diamonds.
Yes.
And where the 4 ball is right now,
Yeah.
I hooked him and he went 3 rails and kicked it in, and it was the 8 ball.
Wow.
And I think the score was like he was ahead, and then that game was for me to like tie it at 5 or something.
Yeah. And
Then he
again,
kicks that in and goes
huge
up
difference.
6-4,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
so
demoralized, right?
Yeah, he just took your soul with that shot.
But I learned to play really strong from this guy right here
Yeah.
because he pushed me. If I didn't play perfect, I wasn't going to beat him.
Yeah. Jarrett McRitchie. Hey, guys. How expensive are the Thumpers? I don't think they're expensive. They run at $4.99 USD, so roughly 620 Canadian bucks. When you compare the hit, and both Ben and mine, I know I'm speaking for you, but I'm sure you'll agree, better hitting than the BK Rush, and on top of that, the jump on it is the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever seen. Very, very easy to jump with. When you compare it to things like the BK Rush, I believe now you can get it 700 or 800 USD, and it's just a break cue. So when you do cost for dollar analysis, in my opinion, and I'm sure Ben will agree, it is the best of both worlds and for the best price.
Absolutely. You can't go wrong with that. Here's one way you could win one, too.
Yeah.
The viewer advantage, $20 a pack.
That's what I was saying before I got interrupted. Double R. Buddy, we wish you the best. We know you're in the hospital, and we want the best for you, buddy. We wish you were here, too. No, Jake, when we put this together, we wanted this invitational to be a really good mix of higher talent, definitely some local players, but we wanted to spread that all the way across Canada and into the States, and that's exactly what we've done. Now, with that being said, I wish we could invite everybody, and even to remember the names of everybody is almost impossible.
There was a message last night to the page.
Yes.
Thanks for inviting me. I watch all the time.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because I know the guy quite well.
Yeah.
But I forgot like one of my best friends
Yeah.
on that list originally.
Yeah.
It was so hard to remember everyone.
Yeah.
It's just there's so many players just in Calgary alone that we had to think of.
Yeah.
And obviously we had to make sure a lot of Calgary players played because they've given us the biggest support.
Of course, and that's why it's an invitational, is we want it to be those out there that do support us. Now, if you didn't get it here because you're in the States or maybe you're in Eastern Canada, the first two, we're not going anywhere, guys. The first two, yes, will be in Calgary, and that's on purpose. And we want this tournament to kind of grow roots, get seeded, and then we can take it on the road. And you know, it's much easier to do that when you're playing on home court advantage and trying to go out and do this event. So if you didn't get an invite or you couldn't attend this one because of location or logistics or what have you, fear not. We're not going nowhere. We want to make this an annual event, and perhaps the next one will be closer to you.
And yeah, that's correct. Jeff Chan, the Jacoby Black, is 620 Canadian.
Yes.
And Sean makes that 8-ball to take a 3-2 lead there. Another little genius device that we advertise here, the Sure Shot. Go check out their website. Use the discount code CSL Pool, all caps, so you get 10% off if you order on the website there.
Genius little device, that thing.
Very nice. We'll show you if you're twisting your wrist, dropping your elbow, all that good stuff.
Yeah, real-time info. Yeah, and I think you kind of hit that on the head, Jarrett. We do have a job to do. We do take it seriously. But again, you know, like Ben alluded to, there was a few people I forgot on that list that are very personal friends to me that also have been huge supporters of Q Sports Live. And just trying to go through and pick 96 players, like we've got, 34,000 followers on Facebook, and trying to limit that down to 96
It's pretty
is
tough.
a tough job. But
I think we smashed it, though, with the field that's here.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of guys that are
Yeah.
here that I really wanted to play, Edwin
Yeah.
being one,
Absolutely.
John Jorgensen being
Yeah,
one. Like there's some
I
guys
got
that,
my eyes on Tyler, man. Bring
Tyler.
that guy on.
John Mora, Jason Klatt, Alex.
I might
like we
not
did.
beat him on the table,
we did
but I
well.
might club him in the ankle.
Yeah.
Right? I'll get him one way or the other. But Yeah, and it's all because of the support. So understand, guys, we're not naive to what it is that we do and how we have the ability to do what we do. And a lot of that comes from you guys sharing, getting in on the draws that we do, getting in and buying on the viewer advantage, getting in on the shirts, right? The jam up shirts, guys. Listen, I just got my jam up shirt.
I was telling them about it too.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, it is the best quality that Jam Up has ever put out. So if you've bought Jam Up before and you think their quality was good before, I'm telling you firsthand, I'm wearing it right now, and it is the best quality Jam Up apparel that I've ever put on. And
Oh.
the designs are sick.
That's exactly what I said too. I said that's the best quality shirt I've ever seen in any pool company.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And go check them out. Check out their website. They got lots of cool designs on there.
Are the JBQs for sale there?
Probably Jarrett probably means cases, and no, we don't have them for sale here, but we can order you one.
Yes, that's done on their website.
And Diamond Dallas wants to know the third choice for JB case plus the cash top up. What is the cash top up? That is dependent on how much you spend on the case.
Yep. You can customize JB cases. Again, top quality. This is what we try to bring our viewers, is the best. And if your product doesn't hold up to what you claim it does or can do, you won't make it on Q Sports Live.
And so what did Sean make out with? I think about 275 cash.
Yeah, 275 cash
And a sweet case. You can't beat that.
Yeah.
And those cases are just phenomenal.
Yeah, but I mean, it really does depend on what you want to do with it and customize it and what materials you want, whether it's a 3x6, a 4x8, backpack, shoulder. There's really unlimited numbers of ways that you can customize a JB case. So depending on what it is you want to do and what you want to spend, that'll determine how much that'll cost, and then we'll top you up to the 620.
So here's a way to fix that, Jake. Go to the Facebook page. Make sure you click the like and the follow button.
Yeah,
And
you're not doing that.
And go to the YouTube channel and click the subscribe. That way you get notified every time we go live. You don't have to just look us up.
Well, and you'll get notified anytime we post stuff as well.
Yeah.
Right. If you've just liked the page, you're not going to get all the notifications or all the posts. You have to go on. You have to hit the like. You have to hit the follow, and do both. And anytime we post out anything, you'll get notified on it.
Nicola, welcome, my friend.
Indeed.
This is the first match of the day. Bunch of rowdy pool fans. It's super quiet in here.
It is.
But there's actually a decent amount of fans that showed up this morning to watch as well.
Yeah, which is really good to see.
Yeah.
As the same online, guys. And if you are just tuning in, help us out, guys. Smash that share button. These guys deserve it. Their morning pool, but it's going to be some of the best pool, without a doubt. We got Edwin Montel in the house. Come on.
Edwin Montel. Doesn't get much better than that, folks.
We got...
But Paul Beatty is firing away at him.
He sure is. We got a 1-1 match between John Mora and who's Mora playing?
Greg Cairns.
Greg Cairns. 1-1 there.
We'll keep an eye on that, see if Greg soft breaks him.
We've got Clint Bearspaw and Mike Crooked Neck playing. It's 4-1 for somebody there. PJ Massacott, Dwayne Bjornstad. I can't see their score because they're sitting in front of it.
Mike Crooked Neck's up 4-2 on Clint over there now.
Very nice. We have Jeremiah Hampton and Tony Sakamoto.
Yeah. Did you say Dwayne and PJ?
6-1 something. I can't see Dwayne sitting in front of that.
PJ and Dwayne, but I don't know what the score is.
Yeah, that's what I... who else have we got?
Derek
playing?
and Tyler.
Derek and Tyler.
Clint Gamble and John Jorgensen. Those are our 8 matches.
I'll tell. It doesn't matter what table we stream.
Sick.
We could do it all.
It's sick. There's so much good pool. I'm going to hang out for a little bit because I'm on the next set of tables, but I'll try to hang out as long through these matches as I can. I might go order breakfast in a minute, actually.
Awesome. Thanks, Jake. Oh, yeah, Mark, you know it. JB cases. The beautiful thing with JB cases is not only is the construction of those things just top quality, you can't get better.
Absolutely. Even right down to some of the little clasps
Yeah.
and the zippers and everything
Yeah, all
is
the
just
little
perfect.
tassels.
Well, and this is the way I explained it to someone. They give lifetime warranty.
That's it.
So
That's
you
exactly
think they
where I
want
was
to keep
going.
fixing it?
Yeah, that's exactly
So
where I
they
was
just
going.
build it like indestructible, and
Yeah.
it's so nice.
Yeah, well, and the beautiful part is not only is it a lifetime warranty on the case, but if your cues are in that case and that case fails and it wrecks your cues, they will replace your cues.
The cues, yeah. Not only the case, but
How's
the cues.
that for a claim?
That's pretty good. Jarrett, I think we're good, buddy, but I appreciate the offer.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll rarely turn down an alcoholic beverage when you get here, of the beer kind.
Yeah. You know what, Jared? I think
Grant likes
Kyle's
Tim
got it, man.
Hortons.
The ultimate rugged is the way to go, at least in my opinion. That's my favorite look.
The 4x8.
The 4x8
But the ultimate
JB
rugged, yeah. Yeah, the rugged is the best one.
Yeah.
In my opinion, too.
Yeah, me too. Right.
No,
I mean, you can
and
change it. You can get
no matter what
leathers
size you
and-
want, but yeah.
Yeah, you can get it done in leather or trust me, there's 1,000 different ways. Just go onto their website, jbcases.com, and there's literally 1,000 different ways that you can customize it, from materials to looks to colors. They are doing customized logos. You can get anything put on a JB case. So all around, cost for dollar value, #1 out there without a doubt.
Well, give us a shout when you get here, Jarrett, and we'll get you looking into one of those.
Absolutely.
We can pull it up on the computer here. You can see it on our giant monitor.
And one of the other bonuses is if you're a Q Sports Live viewer and you want to have the Q Sports Live logo put on your JB case, that you can do for nothing.
No cost.
That's one of the bonuses of them being a sponsor for us. You can get the Q Sports Live logo put on there for free.
And if you guys ever get a chance, you're at a tournament where we are, come check out our cases. You can take a look inside, take a look at the zippers, see how much you like it.
You can hit with.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah, you can hit with the T3. We all have the Jacoby Black, so if you want to try and hit with the Jacoby Black, just stop by. We're more than willing to hand out our stuff, and you can test it. You don't have to just take our word for it. Right now, I've certainly had a lot of people just buy it because we recommend it, but if you're one of those that just need to try it first, come on down. We're more than willing to hand it out.
Absolutely, yeah. Kyle brings up a good point there. The backpack straps are absolutely key.
Absolutely. Would agree.
That's
100%.
what sold me on that case
Yeah,
years ago.
immediately.
Because I used to carry my cues around like a samurai and like across my shoulder.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't carry it on one shoulder the whole day through Vegas.
Yeah, the cross body.
I think I'm going to run to the washroom quick here, guys, and order some breakfast. So I'll leave you with Grant for a minute, and I'll
Yeah, I
be right
suppose
back.
you're allowed to do such things. I can handle it. I got your back, brother. Oh, thanks, Jared. You know, it's one of our business. It's within our business plan. Is exactly what you're talking about. Our job, at least as far as I'm concerned, our job is to bring you from wherever you are into our living room. We want you to be comfortable. We want you to be happy when you tune in, right? We want to be interactive with you. We enjoy the support. We appreciate it more than you guys will ever know. Any comment about the Jacoby Black versus the Revo? And it looks like we got a camera that froze here, guys, at least on Facebook. I do have comments about the Jacoby Black versus the Revo. The Jacoby Black wins hands down. There's my comment. And that's for a couple of different reasons. The Jacoby Black uses aerospace grade carbon fiber. All carbon fibers are not created equally. On top of that, the biggest selling point for me is the fact that the Jacoby Black has a pro taper, whereas the Revo does not. So the Revo feels a little bit thick to me. Yeah, the stream did flake out a little bit on Facebook. Not quite sure why that is, but it should be back up now. It looks like it's frozen again. So I don't know whether Dieter heard me or not. So I'll just wait for everybody to kind of jump back online here. And with that stream kind of flaking out and somebody winning or not winning, I did not see who that was. So I'll see if, give me 1 second. I'm just going to mute the volume. I'm going to see if Paul can grab me a score update. All right, sorry about that, guys. Score is correct on the stream. 4-2, Sean McKay over Riley. And for whatever reason, the stream did kind of flake out there for a minute or two. It is back. And Dieter, if you didn't hear my comments about the Jacoby Black versus the Revo, let me know and I'll run over that real quick with you again. And this is Sean McKay at the table. Apparently with ball in hand, I'm just looking back up to kind of see where they're at in this match. I was too busy looking in the comments and trying to figure out why the stream had froze. But it was certainly nothing on our end. I'm looking at the stream quality of what we're putting out. And there was no indication that the stream cut out. So I apologize for that, guys. So Sean McKay shooting low ball here, taking the 2 ball. I'm assuming he's going to try to shape the 5 ball. May have to change the plan here. Probably going to go to the 4 ball here. Unless the 6 passes the 14 into that side pocket. He's not sitting too bad. Okay, so Dieter did not hear my comments about the Jacoby Black versus the Revo. Quite simply stated, Jacoby Black all day. And there is reasons for it. The Jacoby Black is made with aerospace grade carbon fiber. And yes, there is a difference. It's a big difference. In fact, when I was playing Stan Taranjo yesterday, he had not a Jacoby Black. And it was, I don't want to badmouth other competition, but I'll tell you the positive side. At the end of the match, he asked me if he could borrow mine, took a few shots, and said, that's the one I want. So all carbon fibers are not created equally. They're all going to hit extremely well, don't get me wrong. But the difference is, construction-wise, the Jacoby Black does have a pro taper to it, which for my way of shooting, my liking in a cue, is much better than the Revo. The Revo has no taper to it. Kind of feels like I'm hitting with lumber. So the 12.3 tip on the Jacoby Black is also something I'm more a fan of. I believe the Revo comes 12.5 or 12.9, which is a little bit big for me. Yeah, but that's it. Price point wise, I believe the black is a touch less, not much. I think $15 or something, a touch less than what the Revo would be. How about Jacoby versus Synergy? Very, very close. But again, Jacoby, I think there's only one other one, but I can't remember who they are, that uses aerospace grade carbon fiber. But again, if there was one out there that was close to the Jacoby, it would be the Synergy. I have hit with it, but for however it's constructed, it's the Jacoby that seems to hit a little bit better. Yeah, 12.4, 12.9. And with that 12.4, 12.9 and no taper on the Revo, it just feels, it feels too thick. It feels like I'm shooting actually with a bar cue. Wow, Sean McKay scratches, giving Riley a chance at the table here. And quite honestly, I know Riley's game. He plays really well. He's in from BC. I've played him a couple of times in the CCS events, and this should be no problem. Take the 11 ball, touch a draw, 14 into the top right, 8 into the left side pocket. So we should be 4-3, so big, big game for Riley here. Keeping himself close. Major difference from 4-3 to 5-2. Yeah, absolutely, Todd. I know it. Uh-oh, look out, Riley. That was awfully flirtatious for sure. And we were mentioning the shirts and the designs that Jam Up Apparel had made for this event. It is the official gear of the Q Sports Live Invitational. Phenomenal design, guys, and I'm wearing this right now. It is their best quality shirt that they have ever put out. I'm super excited about them. The design is off the hook. I love it. It's amazing. Kudos to them. They are available if you do want one. They're on the Jam Up Apparel website, jamupapparel.com. A couple of different collar designs. You can have your regular collar. They've got the mock neck collar. They have the Canadian maple leaf on them. Just amazing stuff. They do take a little bit of time to adjust to your game, Ted. So my advice would have been, had I known you were thinking about trading it away, is give it time. Once you can acclimate to that, because it is the transfer of power that makes it a little bit tougher to kind of get used to. And I've had mine now for 3 or 4 months, and there are still shots that I have to watch because the transfer of power is sick. Yeah, I would agree with you, Mark. The deflection is a little bit more on the Jacoby, which will play a little bit closer to a wood shaft, so it doesn't quite take as much time to acclimate to the Jacoby as it does to the Revo. But I've had mine for 6 months, and I'm telling you, it does take some adjusting. So my advice to you would have been give it time, because once you can acclimate to that Jacoby black, the things you can do are crazy good. What tip do I have on my black? I actually changed to a medium tip. I have an onyx tip. They do come with the Kamui soft, but I found with the transfer of power, having a soft tip, man, I couldn't control the juice you can get. If you're a juicy player, I'm telling you, you would love it because the amount of juice you can get with that cue is ridiculous. Right? And I consider myself a fairly juicy player. Certainly not as much as prior, but I just couldn't control it. So I changed to a medium tip, and yeah, all is good. Yeah, we can switch back and forth. I can accommodate that. As soon as this rack is over, I'll switch over. This is what happens when I start going on tangents. Yeah, absolutely, Mark. It was it was it was tough to get that control, but you'll see Riley playing with it. He's got the Jacoby Black as well, and for me it was just too tough to control the juice that you can get with that Kamui Soft. But I mean that's my way of playing. It's going to be different for everybody. So what they say when you order that shaft is try it. Don't try to order it with a different tip. Don't change it the minute you get it. Try to acclimate to it, and then from there make your adjustments. If you try to make your adjustments up front, you might hurt yourself in the long run. Might take you longer to acclimate to it. Yeah, Juicy Player uses a lot of English for sure. And that's how I used to play. I can't say I play a lot. I probably do compared to some players, but certainly nowhere near the level of juicy stuff that I used to put on a cue ball prior to taking my game a little serious. So Sean McKay at the table now that we've gone on tangents all over the place. Sean McKay's at the table. He is leading 4-3 over Riley. Sean being from Edmonton, Riley being from BC. Look out. Did not get rewarded there. He may be in on the 9 ball, so it might not be too terrible. He can certainly get to the 9. It's getting back for that 10 ball. Oh, that's right. Thanks, Jeff. He was from Edmonton. Speaking of Sean McKay. He is now from Red Deer. You are correct. Chris, this is a dress code. Full dress code in effect here. You must have a collared shirt, dress pants, and dress shoes. Never heard the term in 20 years of playing. It's floating around out there. I don't think it's just a Canadian thing. Oh, look at this. Did he ever get a good rub there? What a great shot. A little lucky, but hey, sometimes better to be lucky than good. But he's still in tough. He may have to draw this back across to the left side rail. A little bit of right-hand spin on that cue ball, so when it hits that left side rail, it kind of shoots up table and shoot the gap between the 3-4 and land exactly where his tip was. We'll see how well he does here. Oh, well overjuiced. Right into the corner pocket. He hit that absolute pure stroke. So advantage here to Riley. This should be a tie ball game. And as soon as this game is over, we'll switch over to Edwin and Paul Beatty. Edwin is leading 6-4 over Paul. Who else is around the room? Mike Crookenneck and Clint Bearspaw. I believe it is Mike that is up 5-2. And PJ and Dwayne Bjornstad, I believe 5-3 for, not sure who is 4 over there. Tyler Steyer, Derek Moore, can't see their match. And then Clint Gamble and John Jorgensen, they are at 5-3. You think in some parts of the South I might get punched in the mouth if I call someone a juicy player. I don't take it as a negative term. But I mean, I can't speak for everybody. That's how I view it. And Riley looking good. He might have got a little bit straight on this 6 ball. Could probably cheat the pocket a little bit, kind of force follow with some right hand, and force it off that side rail back up over top of the 8 for the 2 into that top left-hand corner. Oh, he had enough angle. He was good. And we'll see if he's got the speed of his Jacoby Black down. He can pot this 2 to the top left. Nice little draw shot off that left side rail for the 8 into the top right. He'll do some research and report back. Oh no! Riley gives one back to Sean McKay, although I don't know if that 8 will pass the 2 into that top left-hand corner. So you may see Sean take on the bank here and bank it back down to the bottom left-hand corner. These tables being diamonds, they will shorten up quite a bit. So I know the angle doesn't look too good, but with diamond tables, you can really shorten up that angle. Nick, I'm Canadian, Calgary, but live in California. Yeah, you're living our dream, brother. Let me tell you. Look at this shot. Does he play the safe? Tried to play the 2-way there. And I think he hadn't made up his mind yet as to whether he knew he wanted to take the 2 ball in, but I don't think he fully committed to either the bank or play the 8 safe. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wow. Look at this match. Neither one of them want it. They're trying to give it to each other. So Sean McKay does take that game. Riley did scratch on the 8 ball. We'll jump over. We'll watch Paul Beatty and Edwin Montel. Did that game just happen? It did. It did. And you may still see some effects of morning pool. I know myself, I'm not a morning pool player. It's not my favorite time to play pool. And you may have seen the effects of the Jacoby Black when Riley made that 8 ball because of the transfer of power. Right? So I know he's still acclimating as well. I think he got his, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks, 8 weeks ago. So you may see him still acclimating to the power transfer. Who is doing commentary? It is myself. My name is Grant. And myself and Ben Francis, when he's on, we both sound very, very, very similar, so we've been told. I can certainly tell the difference between Ben Francis and myself, but we both have fairly deep voices and often get confused. But it is myself. My name is Grant. I do sound different today. It's been a long week. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little tired. So anytime I get tired, my very White voice seems to creep in. So it's probably a little bit deeper than normal. But it's just because I've had a heck of a week. It's been a long week already. Trying to get prepared for the event and make sure everything was done with printers and all of the hardware and sponsors and do my regular job on top of trying to get ready for this. So this is why Q Sports Live has kind of been silent over the last few weeks. We've just been trying to prepare the best that we can to make sure that this event went off without a hitch. Is Ben playing right now? I don't think he's playing right now, but I know he's up on the next set of tables. So he's probably practicing somewhere, I would imagine. Jimmy, you're welcome, buddy. I'm glad I could help you out. And I'll be honest, Jimmy, I don't know how I did what I did and got that thing done in very short notice. But I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I got it done for you. So Paul Beattie at the table looking real good here. One ball has to shape up the 6. Maybe come across the face of the 12 towards that side pocket. I don't know if you want to shoot that gap. Not bad. That will also work. Slide around. He can either put that into the bottom right-hand corner, or if he goes a little bit far, he's got the right-hand side pocket. Tried to play for the side. Might overhit. Overhit to perfection. That will work. Very well done, Paul. 6-5. And guys, don't forget, we do have the viewer advantage going here as well. Viewer advantage number 10, draw date is end of day Monday. And it is winner's choice, $20 per pack. You have the choice of the Jacoby Black, the T3 jump break cue. You can have the JB case plus cash, or just cash it all in, take the money and run, take 620 bucks. If you do want in to win and you're in Canada, qsportslive@gmail.com. If you are outside of Canada and you want in to win, send us a message to the Q Sports Live page. I'll get back to you with exactly how you can get in it to win it, and we'll do that end of day Monday. Last week you did new paperwork on a diamond table, no doubt. To me, the diamond tables are the stuff. Now, I haven't tried playing on a race-on table yet, but I can't wait. Really want to try the race-on. Oh yeah, Paul knows how to play. He's certainly up there in the ranks within the Calgary pool scene, and if Paul gets going and kind of catches a gear, he's a tough guy to beat. And for those that are just tuning in, this is the Q Sports Live Invitational. We are playing 8-ball, BCA rules, take what you make. A few differing rules in here, but that is the name of the game that we're playing. It's meant to challenge anybody. It doesn't matter who walks in. If you got to do a take what you make on the break, so for example, you make 2 high ball, 1 low ball, you would end up being high ball. It's meant to challenge the player and the game. We didn't want this to be a cakewalk for anybody. Oh yeah, Paul knows how to hold it together. He just comes in. His game has evolved certainly over the last 18 years. I've known Paul a long time, and he's learned how to control his nerves. And like I said, if he gets on a roll, he can be tough to beat. And Edwin can't take him lightly. Edwin's got to keep the foot on the gas. Yeah, Nicola, that's kind of the way that diamond tables are. Once you can acclimate to that, they do shorten up. I think I mentioned that earlier in the broadcast, but they certainly do shorten up, especially on banks and kicks. But they play very, very true. It's meant to test your game, test your stroke. So really the trouble for Paul here, that was a great shot. I didn't want to say it, but that was a really great shot, especially if the 4 passes the 2 ball. If the 4 passes the 2, he's sitting really good. The big trouble on the table is going to be the 3 ball. It's even tight to cut in. I don't know that he could cut it in, but maybe he's got the angle right here with the 2 ball into that left side pocket to kind of draw down and punch that 15 out of the way and stick the cue ball right there. Depends on the angle he's got here. Punch it over. Gets sitting perfect. And I don't think it's going to be a problem avoiding the 13 ball. I don't think 8's going to come into play. So I kind of favor Paul to get out here. Nice little pocket weight shot, left-hand spin on the cue ball off that side rail. You'll avoid both the 13 and the 8 and float pretty much into the middle of the table. Although the question then is, I don't know if the 8 passes the 13 into that top left-hand corner. And it'll depend on the angle that he has on the 5 ball as to how he can play position to get the 8 into either the left-hand side pocket or the right-hand side pocket. Tried to float it, wants to get by that 8. We are playing with the impeding ball rule here as well. So the 8 ball is not in the line of the 5 ball, therefore it is not an impeding ball. And he wants to get back down table underneath the 8 ball. Look at this shot. How's the weight? Does it go by the 13 ball? Not in this, Rick. I don't like the split screen in this type of format. Makes commentating really, really tough to do. I like concentrating on one, but we can certainly flip back and forth. As soon as Paul makes this 8, we'll jump over and take a look at Sean McKay and Riley. Especially with a 10K added. Yeah, Paul kind of stabbed at that ball. I'm not sure if it went or not. And I'll stand up and see if I can get a score check here on that match between Riley and Sean. So they were, just as I was about to switch over after this game, back over to Riley and Sean, they are going to take their 5-minute break. Each player is allowed 1 5-minute break. So Paul looking at a kick here, kicking this 8-ball into that left-hand side pocket. Really, really, really tough back cut, kick back cut. But hey, he's on TV. These are the times you want to pull out these TV shots. It's a good hit. Unfortunately, that will bring Edwin to the table fairly wide open. This should be like shooting fish in a barrel for Edwin. I think we'll see Edwin take a 7-5 lead over Paul. And once again, guys, if you are just tuning in, help me out, hit that share button. See if we can get our viewer numbers up. And we certainly appreciate you tuning in, spending some time with us. We'll be live all day today, all day tomorrow, and all day Monday. And if we get to see some really good pool, and if you think it's good now, it's just going to keep on getting better and better and better. There's not a match going on in the room right now that we couldn't put our cameras on and it'd be a really great match. John Mora and Mike Dunn. John Mora leads 6-2. Edwin should make fairly short work. He's got a little bit out of shape here, but it shouldn't be any problem. He can either cut the 13 ball into the top left. He can also cut the 12 ball into the top right-hand corner, which I think that's what he's going to do, is the 12 ball. Just has to avoid that side pocket on the hit. That'd be cool to see, Russ. Shared to Mission 8-ball pool league. That's awesome. We appreciate it, Deborah. Thank you, David. Back at work with us, our pin master, Dave Wilson. There is the link to the brackets. It is live on CompuSport. You'll find that under the Q Sports Live Invitational. You can follow along with all the brackets, players, see how they progress throughout the tournament. And Edwin kind of got a little bit funny here. I think he might have to take the 12 first. 12 down to the bottom right-hand corner. Check one rail, back out. 14 ball top right, 8 into the top left. Could also send this off the right side rail for 8 into the same pocket. Just like that. There we are. And for my Calgary people, Gelco Plumbing and Heating, one of the sponsors of the event here. Plumbing, heating, gas fitting, and air conditioning service in Calgary and surrounding areas. Give him a call, guys. His name's Jeff, a fellow friend of mine. Has also done some work for me at my place. Phenomenal at what he does. Prices are amazing. Changed out our hot water tank at our place. And if you are in the Calgary or surrounding area and you need anything done, you need a plumber, Jeff is the man to call. So we'll jump over. Riley and Sean McKay are back. And I believe it is 5-4. For Sean McKay over Riley. It is Sean McKay at the table looking good here. 14 ball down to the bottom right off that side rail. Kind of a punch shot. Come back over to the left side, shoot the gap between the 1 and 2. For the 11 ball to the top left. 8 into the right-hand side pocket. Yeah, you bet, Ken. I was just saying that it doesn't matter really what table we could put our cameras on in the room right now. It would be just really, really good pool. Like the dress code? Yeah, absolutely, David. You know it. And just like that, Sean McKay with Paul Beatty is trying to play with Edwin Montel's cue. Edwin's going, hey, what you doing? That's my cue. (6-4) lead over Riley Pouchet. And we'll put up one of our other sponsors here at Q Sports Live. It is MCI. Again, servicing Calgary surrounding areas. Fascia siding, roofing, eaves, downs, cladding, plus everything. They do it all. If you're in the Calgary and surrounding area, you need any of that work done, make sure you give them a call. Thanks, Ken. But really, at the end of the day, guys, my job's fairly simple. I get to sit back. I get to watch great pool. And these players make it really easy to do that. I was just corrected on the score. It is 7-4. Sean McKay over Riley. Guys, I have to go discuss a rule question. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. Had a rule question about the impeding ball because we are playing with the impeding ball rule. And also, guys, let me know how my volume is. If I'm a little loud or a little soft, let me know. So a little bit of controversy because it wasn't actually an impeding ball rule. So what ended up happening is Paul was shooting his ball, and after the shot, took his cue away and hit a ball beside it, which is not a foul. But Edwin does have the choice to put that ball back where he feels it was. Volume is good. David's heading out for the day. Got a few hours of work. Sounds good, David. We appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for all the work that you do for us, helping us out, putting those pins up, or the links up, I should say. Volume's good, volume's perfect, good stuff. So we'll see Sean here, whether that 5 sneaks by the 13 ball into that top right-hand corner. And you almost have to take that right now. I think you take the 5 ball into that top right, you might be able to cheat a little bit. Diamond tables are really tough to cheat. More or less a hit and a stick. I don't want to try and draw this because I think it would put too much speed on the ball. And that would end up rattling out. So I'm just going to play this with a nice stun shot. Try and cheat that pocket. But again, his angle, he may see more of it than what I think. But based on what I see, for me, this is just a stun shot. Then I'm playing the 1 ball next with a touch of draw for the 7 into that left-hand side pocket. Oh, he had a lot of it. No problem. Still might take the 1 ball here anyway. What's going on, Lou? I wish I was still on the A side. I ran into a fella by the name of Stan Taranjo, an absolute legend, and I did not win. Had my chances, for sure, but you can't do what I did. I had 3 dry breaks and then threw the ball off the table. And you can't do that kind of stuff and then expect to win playing a fellow by the name of Stan Taranjo. Yeah, and Paul, we apologize for that, sir. We when we were putting this list together, we forgot so many names, and it's terribly difficult. I didn't think it would be that hard, but when you know as many pool players as what we do, trying to limit that down to 96 is terribly tough. I didn't think it would be that tough, but it was a tough thing to do. So we apologize. Great shot from Sean McKay. This should put Sean on the hill. It is going to be an uphill battle for Riley here. But I know he's got the skill. I've played Riley in BC a few times, and he knows how to shoot. Paul Richens was invited. Mike Robinson was invited. Corey was invited. And all of those guys have prior engagements. But again, we wanted it to be a good mix of obviously local Calgary talent, but not only that, but we wanted to kind of mix it up. So when you've only got 96 players, and I really do mean only 96 players, trying to invite the locals, then we've got Edmonton to represent Alberta, some in Red Deer. We do have Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Wisconsin, the Maritimes, BC. We have a pretty wide demographic as far as players that we could invite. And to try to limit that down to 96, we did our best. And as Ben and I mentioned in one of the earlier sessions this morning, we even forgot some of our really, really good friends that were here in Calgary. And just trying to put a list of 96 players together is really, really tough. And so one of the things that you'll see when these guys are racking, and it's one of the things you'll see that you won't see, is the head ball. You're not allowed to touch that head ball and drag it backwards. You have to leave the head ball alone. The Toronto event, if you're talking the Canadians, no, he was there, but I don't think he even played. I think he just happened to be in Toronto at the same time as the Canadians. Yeah, Kevin, we're going to try and keep it on the same weekend every year. And we're actually hoping that we can do it up a little bit better. And being that those guys are on the hill, or these guys are on the hill, or Sean's on the hill, I'm going to leave it here for now. I believe Edwin just got on the hill. So we're 8-5 Edwin over Paul. We are 8-4 Sean over Riley. But yeah, we're going to try and hold this at the same time every year, hopefully, and keep it growing. We'd like to add a little bit more money, and all of that comes from the support that you guys give us, and that's the viewer advantage, or buying the Jacoby Black or the T3, or just anything that we're involved in. That's where a lot of what we have the ability to do comes from you guys. So we certainly appreciate it. Corner pocket, and Red Deer has 16 diamond bar box tables. Yeah, we're fully aware of that, Rana, let me tell you. And like we said earlier, the first two are going to be in Calgary. We wanna let this tournament that we put on kind of grow roots and kind of get established. From there, we do want to take it out on the road. I would say that being the first two were in Calgary, then the following one we would probably look towards the eastern side, maybe Toronto, could be into eastern United States as well. But we do want to take it on the road each and every year. Yeah, and it's funny how much Riley looks like Tyler Steyer. We're actually going to get a picture of Tyler Steyer and Riley Pouchet standing together. It's uncanny how much they look alike. You can never support too much, Nicola. And believe me, we appreciate it, because it's really the viewers that matter to us. And I'm not just speaking for myself. Due to the viewers that we have, and believe me, we got the best in the business as far as viewers are concerned. It's all because of you guys. It's the support that you show. It's you tuning in, sharing it up. We can't ask for anything more than that. How about Halifax? Yeah, we will definitely, like I said, we're going to travel. We're going to put it out. Obviously, there's things we need to have in the pool hall, from the pool hall, in order to put these things on. Nice out from Riley there. Really well done. So now that they're racking, let's jump over here to Paul Beattie and Edwin. Edwin is on the hill. However, Paul's at the table, can stave off elimination for another game, keep himself in the match. But yeah, we do want to travel with it. And I'll kind of let the cat out of the bag just a little bit with some of the things that we are working on. One of the deals I'm attempting to get into and get closed. If that deal comes through, you'll see more than just one of these events every year. You'll actually see 4 of them, and depending on the deal, I don't want to. Sometimes I don't want to say this because I don't want people to misquote me. However, I'm going to kind of let it out a little bit. If I can get the deal I want out of who I'm going after, you'll see 4 of these a year. So the first 3 will be a 20K ad. The final one would be a 40,000 ad. So if I can get that deal done, if we can still get the support that we need, I'm pretty sure we can get it done. Now, it might take me a little bit of time. It's probably not going to happen before next year. But that's the kind of things that I'm working on, is we want to do 4 of them a year. 3 of them at 20K ad, 1 at 40. Thanks, David. Yes, they would all be invitationals. Bonnie Plowman, absolutely. There you go, Nicola, for sure. He won't confirm or deny, and I won't either. But you're not just a viewer. When I say that with the most sincerity that I possibly can. But I mean, it really is a something I want to do. This particular event, this first one, was very, very, and still is very, very, very personal to me. And when I first started with Q Sports Live, and I asked people, hey, just lend me your faith. That's all I can ask. Lend me your faith. Let me show you what we can do, and we'll find a way to give back. And for me, this was exactly that moment. I've kind of worked hard to put this thing together, to make sure that it had all the elements that I wanted in it, and I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that we do what we say we're gonna do. And when I tell people, look, I'll find a way to give back, this is the culmination of that. And this is why it's a very personal event to me. No, Nick, we're 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 probably going to change it. The first 2, like I said, I want to keep the first 2 fairly carbon copy, because I do want it to grow roots. I want them to be able to set. I want people to get kind of acclimated to the way that we want to do it. This is a Q Sports Live event, and we want to start doing things that are a little bit more notable out there than kind of what some others do, and we want to make it prestigious. This is why it's an invitational, and this is why we want to take it on the road. Because if you missed out on this event because of logistics, if you're down in the eastern states or the southern states, and you couldn't make it up, we haven't forgot about you, and we still appreciate you. And in the future, this is why we want to take it on the road, is to allow those that couldn't travel, maybe can't cross the border, what have you, to at least still give you the chance to come to one. And they are an invitational event. We will always keep it as an invitational event. Do I know how Bonnie is doing? I don't. She was actually here yesterday, but I've been so busy trying to make sure that everything was good, answering ref questions and rule clarifications, trying to commentate, trying to keep sponsors happy and make sure that the cash was correct and so on and so forth. And I still have to do a little bit of that today, but I didn't even get a chance to talk to her yesterday. So I'm sure she'll be back. She'll be back in today. Yeah, Nick, they may change. We're looking at Edmund did take the win there. And we'll jump over to Riley, because I believe we are still 8-5. Yeah. Yeah, we may change it from 8 ball to 10 ball. We may change it to 9 foots. But again, those are kind of down the road. The first 2, I just want carbon copy as the same. So Riley is at the table. It is really fate in his own hands here to get this to an 8-6 match. Look out for, look out for. 4 becomes an absolute beach ball. Really, really unfortunate for Riley there. Um, he's got no choice. He's got to go for it. He's going airtime up over the 4 ball. 11 into that top left. Hopefully get a little draw on that jump shot. Although at this point, I'm sure he'd take even a hit and stick. When it is in the east, how do you get invited? We'll figure out the logistics of kind of all of that once we know ahead of time when we're going to be there and how we're going to do everything. But I would assume part of that is going to be responding to posts on Facebook and so on and so forth. So for anybody out there that is listening, great shot. Great shot, but unfortunately, he's fighting it. He's fighting it. He's got to kind of do the same thing here. I think I'm going to pop it with the jump shot again and bank it. I don't know if I'd try the kick. Maybe I would. Maybe the kick is a better option. I think the kick's a better option. First blush, I kind of thought maybe I'm going to jump again, but I think I'm going to kick between this 1 ball, 2 ball, and put the 8 into that top right-hand corner. Chris, I won't take the jump cue out because with this being the event that we want it to be, I won't take the jump cue out. It is part of the game. I think it's an evolutionary part of the game, but that I won't do. I won't take the jump cue out yet. Look at this. Look at this. What a shot. What a shot, Riley. That's how it gets done. That's how you do it when you're on TV. And I just got to answer a question here, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. Quick rule clarification. No doubt, a jump and a kick all in one rack. That's how you stave off an execution right there. Job well done. It is tough, right? We've got Jacoby custom cues. We've got the T3 that is a jump break cue. And with those guys being our sponsors, it is certainly part of the equation that there's no way I can take the jump and the breakout. I just can't. That would not be a smart thing on my part. Wow, what a great kick that was. Where else can you go see kicks like that on a Saturday morning? Welcome to it, everybody. Especially to stave off elimination. The pressure's on, the heat's on, and you got a jump shot, nailed it. A long, long kick shot, and nailed it. So that will bring Sean McKay to the table with the break. Comes up dry. Fate's in his own hands again. If he can get it 8-7, it's going to start putting the pressure on Sean. Yeah, ain't that the truth? Nerves of steel when you consider Sean is on the hill. Absolutely. Bonnie was on the list, and then for whatever reason she couldn't make it. So, oh my goodness, we have another match on the table, other stream table. Stephen Halem and John Pay Pompey. So let me get that one teed up. All right, that's teed up. How come they're throwing the balls down instead of just racking the ones left up? Hadn't seen it before. One of the rules that we've incorporated into our event is to try to eliminate any possibility of pattern racking. And what you'll end up seeing is they put the balls down after each rack, bend down, put the balls into the triangle rack. From there, you're allowed 2 moves maximum. You can move the 8 into the middle and then a solid or stripe onto the opposing end. From there, that's the only time you can touch the rack. You cannot touch the head ball. You'll see sometimes in tournaments, guys are kind of trying to feather that head ball back into the pack. You cannot touch that head ball. So we've tried to find and incorporate ways that will challenge the best of the best, and that is no pattern racking, no possibility of pattern racking. And you saw Stephen do it right there. So he gets 2 moves, 8 into the middle, and a solid and a stripe on the end. Oh, you didn't see Stephen doing it right there because I'm still on Riley and Sean's match. Riley Pouchet starting to put the heat back. So I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to pool here than I have the comments for the next little bit, because we got Stephen Halem and John Pay Pompey playing each other. This is the start of their match, but that match between Riley and Sean's getting real interesting. So I want to keep an eye out there. I will flip back and forth, but I want to kind of concentrate more on Riley's match than Stephen and Sean. Once Riley's match is done, then we'll jump back to Stephen. So they haven't started yet. I'm going to jump back over Riley and Sean. It is a little bit tough, Nick, but where there's a will, there's a way. And as I said before, it's definitely the fact that with the viewers that we have, anytime that we're putting out like the Jam Up shirts or the viewer advantage or any of the things that we put out, that's how we do what we do. This is why we can travel. This is why we can put these events on. This is where that cash comes from. We don't want to do it just on donations, right? We're not that. If you want to donate, great, but definitely not necessary. We hardly ever ask for donations. We just don't bring it up. If you want to donate, great, send it in. We appreciate it, more than you could imagine. But it's with the viewer advantage. It's with the shirts. It's with all the things that we try to do. That's how things go. Give me 1 second here, guys. I just got to clarify one rule question. Sorry about that, guys. No, I can't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, getting the other matches going, or the other 4 events. Um, it's going to take time, and as with anything, um, that's all it takes. It takes time. It takes a little bit of support, and that's that. But if there's a will, there's a way, they say, and if there is any way for me to accomplish that, believe me, I'm going to make it happen. Okay, just hold on 1 second. I got to clarify another rule here. All right, sorry about that, guys. Too many rule clarification questions. What's going on, JR? Yes, open table, you can use the 8 ball to combo. Yes, Kevin. So on an open table, for example, if Sean was going to play the 8-2 combo, you can connect 8 first, only on an open table. Now here's where the clarification comes into play, and the reason why this is being asked so much. Because this is take what you make. If you don't make anything on the break, you can use the 8. However, if you make a ball on the break, it does not allow for the 8 to be contacted first because you've already then been declared. So it's getting asked a lot, and people are just trying to clarify that. Yes, there's as much as we're doing BCA, there's definitely a few rules that we're trying to put in. Some are balancing rules, some are not. For example, the rack only being able to move a few balls, 2 at the most. We wanted to make this a challenge, and we wanted to challenge no matter who you were, whether you're Sean McKay, Riley, Steven, Tyler Steyer, John Mora. We wanted to make it a challenge, and so we've kind of adapted our own set of rules, and that's what we're going to call it. It's the CSL Invitational Rules. So I've been a ref for 15 years, and I've tried to take maybe some of the world standard rules, some BCA rules, some VNA rules, and take what you make, and tried to take that experience and really put it to use. As far as a balance of power, we wanted it to be a challenge, but not impossible. So that's what we're going to call it, CSL Invitational Rules. Yes, on an open table, Gary, if you make 1 and 1, any open table, yes.
Can I get your ref shot, please?
Wayne right there.
Does he know you're impeding ball both sides? Thank you.
Ziggy, what's going on? Tuning in from Nottingham, UK. Thank you for tuning in again. Good to see you. It's been a minute. Roger, all the rules that we have are rules in perhaps different disciplines. You can't call it quite BCA. You can't quite call it VNEA. You can't quite call it world standard. It's kind of a culmination of, and it's meant to make the rack challenge. All right, so this will bring Sean McKay to the table with the chance to close out the match. And of course, getting to the hill is one thing, but putting the match away sometimes can be just a touch difficult. It's kind of getting over that hill. Sean is looking good here. Nice little roll up on the 11 into that right-hand side pocket. He'll have the 14 down to the bottom right and probably end up shooting the gap between the 4-5 for the 10 into the top right-hand corner. But it really does depend on the angle that he's got here. When are we going to play? I'm not sure if you're talking to me about that, JR. I'm willing to throw down. I'll play. But I don't know if that's meant for me or not. Great shot. Maintains just enough angle where he can punch over, shoot that gap between the 4-5. And I like what he's doing. He kind of slowed down the pace a little bit. Now, I don't want to see him overthink it. I want to see him get too far out of the natural rhythm. That can throw you off just as much as shooting too quick. Yeah, and if and this is one of the differences. As much as we have a few of the top level pros in the house, not all of these guys are top level pros. So it is kind of a pro-am event with the Invitational. So if it was a strict pro event, then I can agree with it. But it is not. There are still amateurs and some not pros in the house. So with that being said, and with Q sponsors, not a good idea for us to take it out. Sean McKay for the win, and indeed he does get it. Sean McKay victorious 9-7 over Riley. Hell of a fight from Riley there, especially in the one rack where he had to jump and then do a long kick. Amazing job, great showing for Riley. JR, indeed, we are streaming to Facebook. And looks like Sean Yee's going to jump on, help a brother out here for 5 minutes while I go check the weather. And then I'm going to jump right back with you guys. I'll be right back. Give you 5 minutes. I'll leave you with Sean and be right back.
Good afternoon there, folks. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Enjoying the weather out there on a Saturday. Thanks for tuning in, watching. We have here Stephen Holm and John Pompey. Hope everybody's enjoying. And I believe our score here is 1-1. Yes, it is. You can also watch it on YouTube there, folks. We're also live on Facebook here on CSI and also on YouTube. Hi, Chris. And hi to everybody else on YouTube there. Hope you all enjoying the weather wherever you are. Nice and sunny out there here in Calgary. That's a little quick safety shot there by John. Hey, Brian. How you doing? Hey, Kevin. Right now we got Steven here. I believe he's a straight ball here. So thinking he might play a safety or might play a kick here. Looks like that's what he's lining up for. Or he might go for a safety. Steven's here is from originally from BC, but he is now living in Calgary, Alberta. Holy, that's pretty hot over there, I would say there, JR. I think over here we're sitting probably 28 or maybe 33. We do have some little wind chill here, but other than that, it's not too bad. It's nice to have a little wind here. Keep it nice and a little cool. Hey, Diamond Dallas, how you doing? I'm doing not too bad at all today. My match, I'm not sure what time it will be. It all depends on how the playing field out here is going on. You'll get some matches here are going fast, and some might be at a little pace here. Especially with racing to 9 here, it's a battle. So everybody here knows how to play the game. Nobody wants to lose, but we all still here having fun too. Get to meet different people. Nick, can I see the score? Right now, right now, PJ and Dwayne Bornstead, they're at 6-6. Holy, David, 109 Fahrenheit. Holy, so that's probably over here will be 48. Yeah, about 48 over here. Wow, that's really hot over there. And where are you at? I'm just doing that.
Alrighty, guys, I'm back with you. Sean, thank you very much for sitting in with me. And
Not a problem.
You're now updating our scoreboard on the other match.
I was just checking what the hell the weather is for everywhere else, and so far we got one place is at 109 Fahrenheit. So I believe that's like what 48, 54.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's pretty hot.
That's hot.
It is.
That's where the devil hangs out.
Over here right now, it's only like 28 to 33.
Yeah, somewhere
with some little wind chill. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, folks. I'm tuning off here, and we're having somebody else join in, Grant. So
yeah,
enjoy the view.
We got a special guest coming in to sit with me, guys. So make sure you smash the share button. I got the one. I got the only. Tyler Steyer going to come jump in with me. So make sure, guys, smash that share button. Welcome Tyler, like CSL does. And we'll welcome the one and only Mr. Tyler Steyer.
What's going on, guys?
How you been?
been good.
Playing like a machine so far.
I don't know about that.
Oh, I know that. I keep
We're
an eye
saving
out.
that for the end of the tournament.
I keep
That's
an
the
eye.
goal.
I keep an eye out. That's my job. And things have been good. Moscone Cup obviously was amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
So explain to me, Tyler, because this is the first time really that we've ever had a chance to sit down and talk.
Sure.
First time on the Moscone Cup team. What kind of pressure was that? How did you handle that?
To be honest, I don't really remember a lot of it. I was pretty prepared. I don't remember shooting a lot of the shots. Johan had me so prepared that I was just ready for it. I mean, I was at his house for about 2 weeks before we went to England and then played the USA England Challenge, and then we went over there and got situated, and I mean, I was ready. It was.
Well, believe me, watching it, you looked ready.
I mean, that's what I do for a living. I got to be ready.
Yeah, of course. But to have that kind of pressure and deal with it the way that you did was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want to pump up your ego.
No,
right. But
I
you
got
and
plenty of people telling me all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course you do, right? But you and I kind of had a conversation, I guess, back and forth on Messenger, and I gave you the props that I think you deserved.
Right.
Right. And you tried to kick it back to me and say, look, things are good, and it takes more than me, and so on and so forth. But
right.
in my opinion, and I've done streaming for a little bit, I've got to see some people play. In my opinion, you had that all-star, man.
Oh,
and I know
no,
you don't. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Skylar had it. Skylar had a bad first day, but besides that, he played
Okay,
perfect
well,
pool for like 3
like I
days
said,
straight.
It's only my opinion.
Right.
But for a guy to come in on the Moscone team and play the way you did, handle the pressure the way that you did, was phenomenal. It was amazing to watch.
Yeah.
And I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm sure our fans did too.
Well, I'm glad. It was a good time. But last year doesn't matter anymore. We got to do it again.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't really like talking about it just because it's over.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
if you don't do it twice, then the first time was a fluke, right?
I don't know if I'll say that, just because you guys performed really well.
Right.
Right. And I think, given the history, it was USA that dominated the Moscone Cup at the start. Then Europe kind of took it over, and they were very dominant. And I think that's the ebb and flow. That's going to be the ebb and flow, and I'm looking forward to a big battle.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this year. I mean, Skylar and Shane are guaranteed already. They're both playing great pool. I mean, hopefully myself, I make it. Billy has really good finishes in the U.S. Open and the World 10 Ball. So hopefully Billy's on there with us, and then it's just between Corey and Max.
Yeah, I heard Max got...
but Corey's playing unbelievable pool right now, too. So it's just like, who do you pick? So, I mean...
I'm glad to see that Max came back out.
Yeah, Max is such a good dude.
I had the chance to sit and talk with Max. He came on and was a guest commentator for us when we were in Chicago. And really, really nice guy.
Yeah,
and
it's
really good to see him back in the game.
He's like one of those really gentle people that, just kind of does his own thing and just goes and plays his matches. He'll play, great pool and then just go back to, being that little gentle guy that, just doesn't talk unless you approach him. You know, this is how he is.
Yeah. He's an all-around good guy.
But
I enjoyed my time with him.
Nick H., I play out of the Carom Room in Beloit, Wisconsin. So shout out to Dave Coles out there. I love that pool room.
Well, this is, I believe, your first time in Calgary.
Yes,
and
first time in Calgary.
You took a few days prior to the event and went out and checked out Banff,
yeah.
Alberta. What'd you think?
For anybody that's never been to Banff, you got to take like 3 or 4 days and just go out there.
Take it in.
Yeah. There's literally no words. If you want to go to my Instagram and see a couple of the pictures that I sent, we hiked a mountain called Mount Tunnel, and we were about, in Canadian terms, 1,700 meters up, and it was just absolutely gorgeous. Like
It's pretty amazing.
No words. Like, I can't even tell you guys what it looks like. It's a hike, though.
God's little country down there.
Oh, yeah, God's country.
Yeah.
It's a hike, though.
Yeah.
So get your boots on.
Well, you were saying that you weren't quite prepared for what that was.
No, so I was visiting my girlfriend's sister out there. She's working there for the summer. And she's like, oh, we're just going to go for a little hike. I was like, all right, cool. I thought we were going to go in like a big circle or something. She takes me up a mountain. I was like, oh, my God.
2 days before a pretty decent-sized event.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And so your girlfriend's working in Banff, you said?
Girlfriend's sister.
Girlfriend?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, my girlfriend, Kayla, she's doing her respiratory therapy clinicals in Ontario right now. And then when she gets done with those, she'll probably come to the States with me. So.
Very nice.
Yep.
Move down with you?
Yep.
Love it. So what's next for Tyler Steyer after this event?
Going to the U.S. Open 10-ball and 8-ball in Vegas. That's from August 8th till the 13th. And then, let's see, September, I got the last 2 weeks of August off. Then September, I'm going to Russia for the Kremlin Cup and the Dream Challenge with the Mosconi Cup team. That's always a fun event. They have I wouldn't even call it a pool room. It's a pool center there they got diamond 9-footers. They have a diamond 10-footer. They have they have multiple 3-cushion tables, Russian pyramid tables, like 5-star restaurant and bar. It's just, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. They
do it up.
Yeah.
So it's literally like you're going to the
It's like a
gym, but
training
for
center.
pool.
Yeah, so you guys know that rubberized floor that you'll see in a basketball gym? That's the type of floor that they have in
No
there.
way.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Wow, Russia's showing us up.
Oh, yeah. Well, Vladimir, the guy who owns that pool room, he does very well for himself, and he's the one that invites all the Americans out there and pays for all of our flights, all of our, hotels, the entry fees for the Kremlin Cup. Oh, yeah, we're spoiled. He does make some money when we do the Dream Challenge between Team Russia and Team USA, so he makes all that back. But he's just great. We're treated like professional athletes when we're out there, so we have a good time.
Wow.
Yeah,
Man,
shout out to Vladimir.
I need to
He's
get
awesome.
my pool game on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now that I know that's out there.
Yeah.
Look out, Tyler.
Yeah, we're pretty spoiled.
I guess. That sounds awesome.
But that's all Johan. Johan planned that. So Johan was hired by Fedor Gors's manager to go coach Fedor, and so he's been training with him since he was 12. Fedor's, I think, 18 or 19. I think 19 now. So he's been in Russia a lot. And then in order to get Team USA prepared for the Mosconi Cup, Johan talked to Vladimir and said, hey, let's do a challenge between Russia and USA just to get, used to the format and, the slippery table and stuff. We pretty much replicated the playing conditions and everything, and it was
what
perfect.
tables are you playing on?
In the Mosconi Cup, we're playing on Razins, but we played on diamonds at the Dream Challenge. But to be honest, with brand new cloth and the brand new balls or the polished balls or whatever, it pretty much plays the same. Tables really don't change how they play until they get 2 or 3 weeks wearing. Then you kind of see how the rails play difference. But it's so slippery out there that they both play the same.
Well, I've never had the opportunity to play. I call them race on, whether I'm pronouncing wrong or not.
You maybe. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it wrong.
We'll say I've never played on one, and I would love to.
Yeah, they're. I really don't know a lot about the structure and how they're made, but they played well. I got nothing bad to say about them. So.
I think they would do well in a pool room here in Calgary.
Sure. Yeah.
Dwayne is asking, tell us a bit about how you prep for a tourney or an event. I'm assuming you're talking mentally, Dwayne. Mental
yeah,
prep?
I can kind of go over everything. So I do a lot of running, a lot of, lifting weights on when I'm not playing in a tournament. If I'm, lifting a lot of weights, then I can still lift when I'm playing. But before a big event like this, I don't like to lift a lot. But do a lot of running. Like the other day, I just ran 4 miles. You know, it's really good to stay in shape physically because a strong body is a strong mind. So that's super important. It's actually really underrated.
Well, would you say then that the physicality that it takes to be a pool player is really drastically underestimated?
Oh, sure. All the people that say pool's not a sport, they can follow me around for a day, and then
Right?
you can make your own, you know, what am I trying to say?
Make your own judgment.
Yeah, sure. There you go. Make your own judgment whether it's a sport or not.
Yeah. Which I can't believe that they don't recognize it as a sport yet.
It is, just some people don't.
Yes.
Or you can follow you around in Vegas for 2.5 weeks and play, you know, 2 big tournaments back to back, and you can't miss a ball, or else that's how many he's run out on you every time. So
Yeah.
just mentally, it's just exhausting. At the end of a tournament, I usually sleep like for 14 hours straight. Like I don't turn my alarm on; it's just leave me alone.
Yeah. Okay, so you do a lot of running, keeping in shape.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do on the mental side? How do you prepare mentally?
Johan really got me into meditating, and it's not really as weird as you think it is once you get used to it. I think a lot of people are actually afraid of their own thoughts and insecurities.
Mhm.
So when you sit in silence like that and just focus on your breathing and stuff like that, and you have to deal with all those thoughts that are going in your mind, like it's actually kind of difficult.
Yeah, at the start I can see that.
Because all the little things that you don't want people to know about you and stuff like that, they start, creeping out,
Right.
and you start thinking about them, and people don't like to think about that stuff, so they just keep themselves busy all day long.
Yeah, it's
But I
looking
think it's
yourself
really
in the mirror.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And studies actually show that people actually become more successful and better themselves when they do that, because they have to kind of deal with who they actually are.
Right,
So-
right. And you're actually the second guy that I've heard that from this weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's the
Jason
other?
Platt
Okay.
says
Yeah.
the same thing.
It's super important.
Yeah.
Wow, what a shot.
How many hours at the table are you putting in? Countless.
Johan's actually pulled me off the table a little bit, to be honest. I'm a workaholic, so
I know that feeling.
Yeah, and he's trying to get me to the point where, my fundamentals are solid. He's got me exactly where he wants me fundamentally. So now it's just about putting in the work to keep those fundamentals solid.
Yes.
He's like, he thinks I get burnt out sometimes, so towards the end of an event, I'll just be a little bit gassed. And he calls it maintenance work. So get to the table 2 to 3 hours a day maximum, and just maintain what you already have, and then just go relax, enjoy your time. But I'm more of like a, 5 to 6, 7-hour guy. If I'm struggling with something, if I'm doing something bad, I have to just go work on it and do it over and over and over again.
Obsessive.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Right. I know that because I'm kind of the same. Now my obsession is not so much with playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
My obsession is with this, with what I do. Right.
Right.
I'm a workaholic that way.
And it shows. It
Is it?
really shows. Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah, this tournament is so organized. I mean, take the added money out of the question. I mean, this tournament's an amazing tournament. I know exactly what I'm going to be playing. The tournament director you have here, what was her name? Stephanie, she's like, okay, you're going to play in about 3.5 hours. I show up, 3 hours and 15 minutes early, or later, and I play in a half hour. I'm like, all right, perfect. That's exactly what I want to hear. Like, I don't want to sit here for 3 hours and just, be playing with my thumbs and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, she is very experienced at it, and I'll kind of toot her horn for her a little bit.
Yeah, do that.
Because she doesn't do it enough. She doesn't give herself enough credit.
Mhm.
And she's pretty much the same way I am. She's my wife, and we're pretty dedicated. I love this game.
Yeah.
Right. I've always loved this game. I've played since I was 18 years old,
Mhm.
which was a few years ago, and I don't have the skill on the table as perhaps a Tyler Steyer, a John Mora, Steven, so on and so forth. But my passion for the game will rival anybody.
Sure.
I love this game.
Yeah.
I love what it could be. And that's my effort in trying to do the streaming, do these type of events. And I had this conversation earlier on the stream today, and I'm pretty sure I had this conversation with you as well, as far as what the future holds for Q Sports Live and what this event we want to turn it into. And if I can get my hands on the deal that I want.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have 4 of these a year. There'll be 3 with 20,000 ads and 1 with a 40,000 ad.
Tell you what, I'll be in Calgary a lot.
Yeah, you will. And you know what, guys, with the scoring, couldn't tell you what this. Stephen and John Pay are locked at 2-2. I'm not sure what the other score is. Typically, when I get a fella like Tyler Steyer on the live stream, I really don't pay attention to the score. I don't pay attention to the game. I enjoy a good conversation. So I apologize, but we will get back to the score and so on and so forth. We got a lot of that coming all weekend. Bear with us.
Jeff, to answer your question about downtime between matches, that's a really good question. A lot of people don't know what to do, and I would say you have to be back in the pool room about at least a half hour before your match, or an hour, preferably, just because you have to get your body used to the, used to the environment,
Yeah, you got to reacclimate.
Right,
to the
yeah,
settings.
your body temperature has to kind of change to the room and kind of adjust to what you're doing. Do you need a long sleeve shirt on? Do you need to, take something off, or whatever? Do I need to practice my break, or just
Well, and I
watching
think
other
your
matches?
Your eyes need to acclimate as well.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, we're in a fairly dark room.
Right.
The leather pocket's a fairly dark room. You walk outside and it's 30 degrees and blasting sunny.
Yep.
And then you try to walk in 15 minutes before a match
Yeah.
and try to play, and your eyes haven't acclimated. You're in trouble.
Exactly. Yeah, and I'd say, spend a good amount of time outside the pool room. Like, for example, after Alex's match, him and I are going to go to the Nike outlet, relax, go walk around, maybe grab something or whatever. He's never been to Pita Pit, so we're going to go to Pita Pit for the first time. I love that place. So, going to go over there.
He's never been to the Pita Pit?
He's never been to Pita Pit.
Oh, my.
We don't have him in the States.
Wow. So the States is lacking on the Pita Pit.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
and the Tim Hortons. Sorry, 2-0 for Alex Ollinger. All right, I'll update that right there. Boom. We're done.
Alex
We're
is
updated.
squatting his cue ball there.
Yeah, there you go, Clyde. See, and I'm the same way. I much prefer having a conversation with a fella like Tyler Steyer than worrying about what the score is. Because listen, guys, we got this going all weekend. We're live all day today. We're live all day tomorrow. We're going to finish up Monday, but it'll be live all day Monday. So we've got, excuse me, we've got a ton of pool coming. And, I mean, there's not a match going on in the room, and Tyler, you can verify this. There's not a match going on in the room right now. We couldn't put our cameras on, and it'd be a really great match. But
Yeah, you
we
would know
got
that better
all
than me.
weekend.
I don't know these Calgary guys, but I'm assuming at the end of today and the last 2 days.
Yeah, it's just going to keep on getting better and better and better and
Exactly.
better. Right? So, I mean, we got scores coming. We got matches coming. We got exciting things coming. But right now, I just want to pick the brains of a guy like Tyler Steyer.
I can't show you all my secrets.
No. I know there's some trade secrets going on, but that doesn't mean I still can't pick a little bit. Drop a little knowledge on us. And how are you enjoying Calgary so far? It's a beautiful city.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It is. Yeah, it's very, very big. How many people live here?
1.3 million, I
Okay.
think.
Yeah, I just can't get over how beautiful Banff was. Think about it all the time.
Yeah, it's amazing. And, you know, living in Calgary, it's something that we kind of take for granted,
Yeah,
right?
I can see that.
It's right out your back door,
Mhm.
right? I haven't been to Banff for years.
Shame on you.
I know, right? But part of my problem, and you'll recognize this, being the workaholic that I am, I don't take that downtime.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I've always got things to do. I've got
Right.
this business. I've got my own other business, and then I've got another venture that I'm trying to get off the ground as well.
Okay.
So it's busy. It's busy. I'm always busy. But that's the sign of a workaholic.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think us in Wisconsin or the Midwest will take for granted the Great Lakes.
Of course.
Over there, just
Yeah, and a
something
lake
we've
would be
had.
something I'd be at every day.
Exactly. You think you would be, but I
think
don't
would
think
be,
you would be.
yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone king salmon fishing out there before, and that's so fun. Battling those things for 30 or 40 minutes straight. I mean,
Oh wow.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I wanted to touch base again on the physicality or the underestimated physicality of what pool is, and again, you're not the only one that I've heard it from this weekend that working out, keeping in shape, is definitely a key element in having success in pool.
Yeah, like for example, when you're lifting weights, for the first 2 weeks, you're not going to be able to, deliver the cue in a straight line when you start lifting weights. But when you do it for, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks straight, then you actually have more control over your arm. You actually you're in tune with your body.
Yeah.
So it's really not as bad as people think. For example, Michael Jordan's trainer was talking about how Michael Jordan didn't want to lift weights because basketball players didn't at that time.
Yeah.
But he was getting beaten up by the Detroit Pistons and needed to get stronger. So his trainer said, okay, this is what's going to happen. This is how your body's going to change. This is how your shot's going to feel. Just trust me here and work into it. And then Michael Jordan became the best version of himself, and he shot 50% his career.
Yeah.
So that's pretty
That's
ridiculous.
amazing.
Yeah, so if a basketball player can do it, there's no reason a pool player can't, because basketball players, you have to be so in tune with your body to do what they do. So
Yeah. And I really do think that, at least in pool, it is so drastically underestimated as to the physicality that you need to be in
Yeah.
order to play long tournaments, sit around, wait for your match to come up, and,
Sure.
and so on and so forth. Never mind the physicality of walking around the table
Yeah, like-
as many times as what you do when you're in a match.
look at Thorsten, Mika, Niels, Shane, Jason Shaw. I mean, Eklund Kachi. I mean, Fedor runs. Obviously, Fedor runs because Johan's coaching him. I mean, Fedor's got a six-pack. Kid's shredded. So, I mean,
Wow.
yeah, he doesn't look like it, but yeah, he's very, very lean and in really good shape. That's why he's able to play so well.
It's something I think I need to get back into, is working out a little bit more. And really, it's taking the personal time for me, right? Which I don't do enough of,
Right.
Because I'm always working. I'm always doing something for somebody, right? And it's something that I've kind of mentally been thinking about for a while. Is I need to get back to having some me time and being able to go and work out and do those types of things again.
Mm-hmm. Diamond Dallas, what cues do I use? I use Predator cues. I use the SP2 butt with the 12.9 Revo. Then I use a BK Rush and the Air Jump cue. Daryl, thank you very much. We just had a group of extremely talented guys that needed a little spark under their butt, to be honest. I mean, I think they played a little bit timid the last couple of years, so once they get out there and feel comfortable and, maybe I just show them how it was done for one match, I don't know, but they sure, really started to play well.
It wasn't one match. I was glued to the TV.
Yeah, but
right?
Everybody started playing extremely well, day 2, 3, and 4. Everybody just kind of picked up guys when they needed to. After one guy lost a match, we just kind of got in there and won the next one and kind of slowed the momentum down. So it was a group effort for sure.
Yeah, well, and I like the way he put that you were kind of that spark. That's the word I've been looking for the whole time that you and I have been talking.
Right.
That it was that little spark, that little push that I think you brought to that team.
Well, it's just sickening. People say, the Europeans are so much more talented. They, we can't beat them. Like that. That's absolutely ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah. So it's a big advantage for them to have a tour, a 9-foot tour where they're battling with each other all year round, getting to know each other and getting to know their games. So that's why Johan has us going to Russia. We went to the Euro Tour last year to play another 9-foot event. I was trying to go to the China Open this year before I went to Russia just to play another bigger event, but I had visa problems, so I couldn't do that. But it's just playing top-level competition as much as possible. That's what keeps you sharp. So, and they do that more than us. So we have to have a little bit different training program to get ready for the Moscone Cup than they would.
Yeah, of course.
So that's what Johan's the best at. Is he gets to know each individual so well, and then he's able to figure out how to get them to play their best, while having everybody kind of blend together and become a great team. And he's a genius. He won't admit it, but he is.
He's one of those guys that don't take credit where it's due.
Yeah, absolutely. He's like, well, you guys put in all the work. I just told you what to do. I'm like, well, yeah, you told us what to do.
Exactly, right? Is this tournament double elimination? It is. It is race to 9 on the A side, race to 9 on the B side.
Clark, no, I don't constantly adjust with centered edge. I've been using that aiming system for about 6 years now. Shout out to Stan Shuffett. He's just unbelievable. Him and Johan are just top notch. Like, those two guys have more passion for the game than anybody I've ever met.
Right.
Stan's in his 70s, and you go to his house, and he's, Tyler, let me show you this. He's like all excited, and I'm like, oh my God. It's great to see that he's just like a little kid at the pool table still, and I think he's 71, 72. Yeah, it's just,
that's crazy.
It's awesome. So, yeah, without those two guys, I wouldn't be in this chair right now. I wouldn't have the sponsors that I do to be able to fly around the world and compete and all this stuff. So thanks so much to Stan and Johan. Also to Jerry Bryseth. He's an American instructor, a Grandmaster instructor that kind of got me started and worked with me when I was younger. So, without those three guys, I wouldn't even be here.
And so for those that don't know, who are the sponsors of Tyler Style?
Very good question. Heath Manning from Ontario. He's the #1 diamond dealer in the world, so nobody sells more diamond tables than Heath. And then he also has his website called manningcues.com. So he's kind of like a Siebert's or a Pool Dog or Cue Sticks. He does that. He just takes care of me like no other. And then I just recently got sponsored by Predator as well. So thanks to all those guys. I wouldn't be able to travel without them. But yeah, Heath is more than a sponsor to me as well. He's become one of my best friends. I can call him and talk to him about anything. He probably gives the best pep talks you could ever hear from anybody.
Really?
So, yeah, for example, I lost a pretty decent-sized 2-man tournament a couple months ago. And, I just wasn't, in good shape mentally, just down on myself, yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
And he really was able to kind of put me in check. And then I went and did well at the World 10 Ball and stuff like that. So
yeah, you had a really good performance at the World 10 Ball. And it's always important to have, at least in my opinion, it's always important to have guys like that in your life.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That
I think every sportsman has one.
Yeah, of course. Kind of have your back, and they're not going to tell you just what you want to hear.
Exactly.
They're going to, tell you the real deal.
Your best friends tell you what you need to hear. The ones that are, just patting your back all day long, those are the people that you don't need in your life, actually. It's nice to have a couple people that, girlfriend or mom and dad, that's their job.
Yeah.
Right? But too many friends that are always telling you how good you are, that's not good to have.
No. You need those guys in your life and those friends in your life, be it male or female, that just give you the straight goods.
Mm-hmm.
Good, bad, or ugly.
Yep.
Sometimes you need that. Those are always important people to have. Tyler, what tip are you using?
I'm using the Predator Victory Soft, the tip that comes with the Revo. I'm not really a soft tip person, so what I do is I'll actually take an old cue ball and I'll just beat it down a little bit. I'll season it, make it a little bit harder than what it is, and then it seems to have good grip but good firmness. And then I'll just shape it to whatever shapeness I like at the time. I'm always changing my tips. I don't ask what radius I use.
That's really interesting because so I play with the Jacoby Black, which comes with the Kamui Soft.
Sure.
And maybe I jumped the gun. I'm going to try that because I've taken off the Kamui Soft because I was almost uncontrollable.
Sure.
And I put on a medium tip, but I don't quite get the same feel as the soft tip.
Right.
But it gives me more control, I think.
Yeah. A lot of times the soft
I like
tip.
that advice to kind of beat that thing down.
Yeah.
I might I might borrow that, Tyler.
The medium tip a lot of times comes a little bit too firm for me.
Yes.
You know, it has that like click sound, and
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like to hear that click.
Yeah.
So I'll just take a medium tip and I'll just beat it up a little bit and make it firmer. And that way,
A soft tip.
a soft tip.
Yeah.
I'll harden the soft tip a little bit, and that way it still has that same grip and life of a soft, but
Yes.
it's firm and moves the cue ball the way I want it to. So
Dang.
just a
I
little
got
little tidbit there.
Little bit of.
Yeah,
of-
you're
of
getting my secrets out
Tyler
one by
secret.
one.
Yeah, I like it.
Crap.
Well, not only am I going to ask you for that, I want to see how you do that. How do you?
Oh,
And
you just take a cue ball and you hold your cue in front of you and you just beat the crap out of it for like 5 minutes, and then you reshape it. You know, make sure it's chalked properly. Hit a couple balls if that's the way you want it. Cool. If not, harden it up a little bit more, and just keep doing that process over until you like the feel of it.
Solid advice. I'm going to try that because I'm the same way. That tink sound and that
Right.
the way that it feels on the cue ball.
Right.
Right now, it's better than what it came with. Right, and maybe I didn't acclimate enough to it
Mm-hmm.
when it came with that soft tip, but it's still not quite the control that I want.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. So for 100 of you, I bet you're all gonna go change tips. So go buy your tips at Heath's website at manningcues.com.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice plug.
Yeah. If you guys are gonna
Nice
go
plug.
buy a new tip, go buy it from Manning Cues.
Tell him Tyler Steyer
Yeah.
sent you.
I wouldn't be in the booth without him. So support Manning. He actually has some really good kicking videos on YouTube. If you go to Heath Manning's YouTube page, that's actually how he got started. So he found a really good kicking system, and then he was posting on YouTube, and then he had so many viewers that people started asking him, "Hey, can you get me this cue? You know, can you get me this? Can you get me this?"
Right.
In the comments of the YouTube videos, and he's like, "You know what? I can probably get those things." You know, so he just slowly just started building up his business by, buying and selling product. So he's doing a really, really good job.
There you go. You heard it here,
So
guys.
really check out his kicking videos. They're pretty wicked. I use some of the systems that he has on there. So you're welcome.
There you go.
And he's a super good guy. He describes everything really well. So it's pretty easy to understand what he's talking about.
Pretty informative.
Yeah.
All right, duly noted. It is exactly how you said it the first time. Holem. A lot of guys just shorten up his name, and it's Holem, but it is not. It is two separate words.
Yeah. I got a bone to pick with Steven. He told us to go to Mucho Burrito yesterday.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Can't believe him.
Was I right in not eating there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Steven said it was good. We went to, sorry if anybody is affiliated with Mucho Burrito, but it's not Tyler's favorite place to go.
Not recommended by Tyler Steyer. We're getting both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
Some recommendations.
There you go.
Some stay away from.
Yep.
Okay, well, I'm glad I was right. Because you and I had the conversation, and I said, yeah, I don't think I eat there.
Yeah. I think I got to start asking
Oh,
the 300-pound
I got
people.
a rule question that I got to clarify here. Give
Sure.
me 1 second. No, he's got to have dress shoes now. So
How many minutes has he got?
he can use my dress shoes if he wants. I'm sure we're fairly close to the same size.
You want me to tell him to come over here?
Yeah, he's got to have dress shoes.
You haven't talked to him at all, have you? All right, I'll go tell him.
Yeah, he can use mine.
Nick H., I do it by beating it down with the cue ball. So just have it in your hand and just beat it down a little bit. You can take like a light mallet or something like that too if you want. It doesn't really matter, but you just want to season the tip up real good so it isn't as soft as it was before. That's why, for example,
give it the beat down.
yeah, like Efren plays with the pressed elk master. So they'll put it in a vise and press it, make it a little bit firmer, and then they'll put it on. Because if you just put an elk master on, it's like a sponge.
Yeah.
So you can't really play with it.
Yeah.
So
Well, and that's kind of how I felt with that Kamui soft. Is
Mhm.
man, I had a hard time controlling it.
Yeah, they're pretty soft.
Right, but again, it could have been my fault where I was a little more rushed, perhaps, than what I should have been, and took it off and put on a medium. But now I'm starting to acclimate to the feel and the power transfer using a carbon fiber shaft.
Right.
But those little touchy-feely shots is where I think my game lacks a little bit.
Sure, right. And I want to make a quick shout out to Kamui. They were just one of the big sponsors for the World 10 Ball and the Diamond 9 Ball Open. So thank you guys for that.
Well, you know what? It's one of the things I say all the time on Q Sports Live, and whether it's one of our sponsors that we have in sponsoring Q Sports Live or the event or so on and so forth, they're vital to the game.
Yeah.
Right? Without the sponsors, we don't get to do the things that we do.
People have no idea what goes on behind the scenes financially for pool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, shout out to Predator as well. They're doing they locked in 3 years with the Rio for the World 10 Ball. So we will have a World Championships in the States for the next 3 years, and then they're going to make adjustments and maybe get a little bit bigger and bigger as we go. I mean, it was really cool to have it together with the BCA, just because we had so many fans watching. Stands were full for every single televised match and the outer matches. Like, it was just great to have the support that we had this year. So really looking forward to next year.
Absolutely. Nick, Tyler, who is your GOAT when it comes to pool?
Who is my GOAT? Like, who is the best player to ever live? GOAT? Is that the question you're asking?
Yeah, I would assume that would be it. Who do you consider is the greatest of all time or current greatest player? But again, and Nick, maybe you can clarify. Are you talking present day? Are you talking past? Are you talking 10 ball, 9 ball, 9-foot table, 8-foot table, snooker?
I think it's the greatest,
a broad question.
The greatest Qist ever, I think, is Ronnie O'Sullivan, without any question.
Agreed.
The best. Ronnie's the best Qist ever. It's just simple.
Yeah. There's really not a question there. I don't think either.
In pool, it's Efren. Efren is the GOAT. If you ask 100 people, the majority, you're probably going to get 35, 40, 50 people to say Efren.
Yeah.
So Efren gets unanimous MVP. His creativity, his ability to adjust and win at all games, whether it was, he's won World 9 Ball championships. He's won the One Pocket at Derby, the Bank Pool, all-around champion. How many times? Like 5 or 6 times at Derby. 3-cushion player. He beats Sang Lee in every single game on a 3-cushion table except 3-cushion. And there's they played 11 or 12 different disciplines. And Efren, just was able to outsmart him, outplay him. A lot of people don't know how good Efren actually was.
His table knowledge
it's just
is
sick.
off the charts.
And he won the Break Room Classic down in Duluth, Minnesota 2 years ago in his 60s. All of us know how to rack and break so good, and just winter break, race to 15. Efren's not the favorite to win that tournament ever, right? He doesn't know how to rack. He doesn't break very well. It's a race to 15. He's in his 60s, and he goes and snaps the tournament off, not knowing how to make the ball in the side pocket or make the 4-railer in the corner. He's just smashing them and hoping, and he's beating us in a race of 15 in his 60s. It's just disgusting.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Derek Moore, I'm a close second. I just let you win this morning. It's the Canadian in me to be nice. Oh, Derek.
Thanks for being nice, Derek.
Yeah. He's very thankful for that. And for those asking for score updates, as we mentioned earlier, guys, we'll get there. When I get to sit and talk to a Tyler Steyer and pick his brains, I'm not worried about the score. Somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. We'll have matches on here all weekend long that we'll be on the scores for. But right here, right now, I'm not worried about the score.
If anybody wants to learn how to move playing bar table 8 ball, watch Alex. He is a bar table expert.
He is very, very, very good. So I got to see Alex Ollinger for the first time play at the Four Bears. Four Bears Classic. Great tournament run by Ray Poitras and his boys down there. Very, very well run. Really enjoyed that tournament. but that was my first look at Alex Olinger. And I really didn't get to watch a lot of him play at the Four Bears. It's obviously a very big event. There's a lot of players, a lot of matches going on. And then we seen him in Vegas this year for, I believe it was the VNEA. And I got to keep more of an eye on Alex. And
People don't really pay attention to
I'll
him very
tell
much.
you
but
what.
oh yeah, he's sneaky.
He's a beast.
He will win this tournament probably 1 every 5.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 1 every 5 and win this tournament. You know, he might win it 3 in a row. You never know. Like, I mean, he's won the White Diamonds tournament down south. I mean, I think first place for that was like 30-something thousand with the Calcutta and all that. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, he's always extremely focused, breaks well, moves really good.
Super
runs
nice guy,
out.
too.
Great guy, yeah. He's one of the few people that I'll actually, travel with. I'm not traveling with him this tournament, but we've roomed together before. We go out to eat all the time, yada, yada, yada. He's just a good person to have around.
Yeah.
So
Tyler, do you play snooker?
I have before. My girlfriend's in Ontario, so I've played a few times. I've played over at the Corner Bank in Toronto. I really just like to fire the balls on that table. I don't really play the game, but I watch it a ton. I love watching Ronnie and Ding Junhui and Judd and all them guys, Mark Williams. So I'm definitely a fan of the game, but just no tables to play on in the States. So.
Yeah, we find that here in Calgary, too. We used to have a couple of snooker tables here in the Leather Pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, being a business, real estate is at a premium.
Yes.
And they weren't being utilized the way that they needed to be.
Exactly.
So he got rid of those, and that's where he put in the 9-foot diamonds.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, obviously this weekend you can't get a table here. But they've now utilized that space. So here it's a lack of tables, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've played on a snooker table 5 times in my life.
They're fun. I mean,
They're a challenge.
all the Moscone Cup guys in England last year were gambling. We were playing like $2 a point or something like that in one of the pool rooms near the Alexander Palace. That was pretty fun. Tell you what, Billy Thorpe can fire the balls in a snooker table.
Really?
Yeah, he's unreal. Corey thought he was stealing, and he wasn't. Corey's
Thorpe
like
taught him the lesson, eh?
Corey's like, he's shooting all the wrong shots, but he's making them, so I guess they're not wrong.
I can totally hear the tone of Corey that way.
Yeah.
You said it. I got the visual to match.
Dane, I do play with a 58-inch cue. I do have all the Predator extensions. I have the 3-inch, the 6 and 12-inch extensions. But I've tried playing with the longer cue. I used to play with the Pat Divini for a while. I played with a 60-inch Divini. But I found that it's better to have a little bit more stiffness, and with a longer cue, it gets a little bit whippy sometimes. So I rather just put an extension on if I need it for a shot. But I just hold the back of the cue anyway. So.
Well, and I think height has kind of a role to play there. So I'm on the taller side.
Mm-hmm.
And I've tried. So I have to use Stephen as the example. Stephen Halem, he lives with me, and he had the mid extension in, and I think it was just the 3-inch mid extension. And I never thought it would really have that much of an effect.
It has a big effect on
Huge.
them. Yeah, it makes it extra whippy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that very much.
And I'm not so much a fan of the whippiness, but for me, I'm a fairly tall guy. I'm a bigger type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it felt a lot more natural.
Right.
Where I feel if I use a short cue like I'm playing with now, I feel compressed.
I'm going to sound biased here, but Predator has done such a good job having the butt cap on their cues allow the extension to be screwed on. It's like a kind of a unilock extension that just screws on.
Yep.
And it's so solid. You could actually hold the cue by the extension and move it around, and it doesn't wiggle at all. I mean, their weight bolt system, everything about their cues.
I really like their weight bolt system.
Yeah, they're geniuses. They have different materials with the same size weight bolts, so you can actually change the balance point and really do whatever you want with it. So it's pretty sharp. they definitely lead the industry with technology. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, definitely. I would say definitely on the weight bolt system. I've been a fan of Predator. Obviously, we are not sponsored by Predator. We do have Jacoby Custom Cues as our Predator on Q Sports Live. And
Yeah, Jacoby makes one too. They have a screw-in bumper that
Yeah.
allows their extension to go in the
Yeah.
back as well.
yeah.
Jacoby's probably 3-4 hours from my house. So I know Dave and
Well, you
Brandon.
you may go home with a Jacoby this weekend.
Oh, the raffle, right?
You never know. Yeah.
Ah,
No
that's right.
raffle. No, it's not a raffle.
What do you mean?
Well, they, being one of our sponsors, we asked them and told them up front that this was a tournament that we were doing. This is what we were going to put on. And I wanted them to donate a cue so that everybody that did come out support the event, everybody's going to go into that draw with the players, and somebody's going to win it.
I got you. That's pretty sweet. I didn't know about
Yeah,
that.
Yeah. It's a decent cue. 1,500 USD.
And what's the thumper cues back here too? I seen those as well.
Oh, my brother. The Thumper cue, in my opinion, is the best break cue, period. The
Really?
best break jump cue
That
you're
I
ever
know
going to get.
a lot of people in Wisconsin have been using them.
Yeah. If you've never hit with a Thumper,
Mm.
I'll have you hit with one. And I know you're sponsored.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're good.
It's better than the Rush?
Absolutely way better.
Really?
Yeah. So not only the brake part of that, and typically when you get a jump brake cue, it's going to brake like a monster but not jump so well.
Right.
Or it's going to jump amazingly well but not brake so well.
Exactly.
It is, honest to heavens, the best of both worlds. The
Wow.
jump is ridiculous. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. Jason Klatt yesterday
Yeah.
used mine for the very first time. He never touched one before. Took the jump cue part, put it together, and jumped with it. He came to me last night in his match and said, "Hey, can I borrow that?"
I need a spare ball one real quick. Let me have that.
Yeah. So that thing is cost for dollar value. The best bang, best buy on the market, period.
Well, and it's a Purple Heart shaft, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. So, I mean, anybody who wants to try one, you can get one. Any of those Purple Heart cues, they always hold their value really well.
They do.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much like you're trying it out for free because you should be able to get the same amount of money out of it as you bought it for. So,
Yeah. There's your score update. I just got it, 4-1. But yeah, that's now when we first met Richard. Now Richard's here, so he's the guy that invented it. He's the creator,
okay.
so on and so forth. And we first met him when we were in Niagara Falls doing the APA event, and he come up to us, and he was the one that made the claim first. This is better than the BK Rush.
sure.
Right now, how we roll here on Q Sports Live, if that's a statement that you're willing to make, because that's a big claim,
Sure.
right? If your product does not do what you said it would do, we will not put you on Q Sports Live.
Wow.
Yeah. If your product doesn't perform the way you say it will, you won't get on Q Sports Live, period. So
That's pretty cool. No false advertising, huh?
no way, never.
Sweet.
Won't happen. Won't happen. Now, he had his thumper there. Now, the tip on the thing, it's proprietary. It's his thing. It's the KFC recipe. He's not going to give up how he does it
Right.
and where he gets them. But he took his cue, to give you an idea of the tip, turned it upside down and jackhammered it into the cement for about 20 minutes. And then turned around and broke with it. Now, he still has that cue today. The shaft is warped to hell. You wouldn't want to try to play pool with it.
Right.
But to break with that thing and it still looks pristine.
Right.
It's amazing.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So
Stands behind his product.
absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why they are on with Q Sports Live. Your product did what you said it would do. The price point is phenomenal. And not only the brake, but the jump as well. The jump should be illegal. It is that easy.
Really.
I'm kidding you not. You can full cue jump with that thing almost as easy as most jump cues.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go, guys.
Yeah. And we have them here. If you happen to be in the area, you're in Calgary or surrounding areas, you don't have to take my word for it. We travel with them. We use them. Any event that we're at that you guys want to call my bluff on, I'm more than welcome it. Come on down. I'll hand you my cue, my personal one, and you can take it out for a test drive.
There you go.
Jeremy's asking, if you could offer just one piece of advice towards improving a mid-level player's game, what would it be?
Oh, there's so many things
That's
to
a
work
good
on.
question.
That's a hard question.
Yeah.
Uh,
I know where I would go with that.
I would say the best advice you can get is making sure you're doing purposeful practice. So be doing a drill where you can keep score. Alex Pegulayan told me to always make sure if you're playing someone, at least bet like $5. So that way there's a consequence if you lose. Never play for free. Never shoot circus shots. Stuff like that. Always make playing a purpose. You want to try and improve your game every single day. If your game didn't improve that day, you weren't doing the right things. So I would say that's the best advice I can give you is don't just hit balls for fun. Because when I do that and then I go try and play a tournament, it's hard to get out of that mode of just wanting to, make the cue ball do all these crazy things. And, those are fun to do, but it's not the best way to win. It's nice to be able to get yourself out of a jam once in a while, but it's not really something you want to practice a whole lot.
Effective practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
Mine is mental.
Really?
Because, it's the mental side of the game, in my opinion, that makes a difference.
Mhm.
We can talk about physicality and so on and so forth, but if you're doing all of those things, for me, it's the mental game. I'm a big fan of the mental game. And what I mean by that is put a shot up on the table. Now, I can say this about Tyler Steyer. I can say it about Steven, Jason Klatt, John Moore. Put a shot on the table that you guys do that I couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't one.
No.
What makes the difference between me and the rest of the pros?
Mm-hmm.
It's the mental thought process.
Yeah.
Right? The table mapping on what shot's first, what's second. That will only come from experience and how you think about the game. How do you prepare against your opponent?
Sure.
Right? The fact that I'm not playing Tyler Steyer, I'm playing me on the table.
Right.
Right? You're the opponent that has to play if I don't get out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So for me, it's all about the mental game.
Right.
Right? It's really not about, well, you guys can make shots that we can't. I don't think so. Once you've kind of achieved a certain level in pool of shot-making ability, it's really not about shot-making at that point.
Yeah, I hate it when people say good shot, because if I have to make a good shot, that means I was out of line and I made a mistake earlier.
Right. Right now, if you make a good shot because somebody put you in jail and you kick 2 rails,
Sure.
Okay, great. But if I put myself there and had to kick 2 rails, then that's really not a good shot.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Right.
Right.
Kenny, my next match is tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And then Steve, I said that the best cueist was Ronnie O'Sullivan, and then the GOAT for me in pool is Efren.
Brady Golan taught Marco Fu. There is another very, very big name in Canadian pool, Brady Golan.
My good friend Dan from Chicago, he talks about Brady going a lot. He used to live in Seattle, so he watched Brady play a bit when he lived out here.
Unfortunately, Brady is dealing with a little bit of a shoulder issue at this point.
Okay.
Otherwise, he'd have been here.
Yeah, I heard that name many times.
Phenomenal player. I'll give you an update on the score between Steven and John Pompey. It is 5-2, I believe, for Steven.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure of the score between Alex and Kundao. I would have to say, given the time frame from the last one, we're going to be 6-1, 5-2, somewhere in that neck of the woods.
Yeah. That's one thing about Alex is he grinds so hard. If you see any player under like a 650 Fargo get past 2 or 3 games, Like, it's surprising because Alex just takes advantage of every opportunity. I'll get lazy sometimes and not get out of a rack that I should have, if you're, up 6-1 or something like that.
Yeah,
but
take the foot off the gas a little.
Alex never goes into cruise control, ever.
Which mentally is very, very tough to do.
Yeah, for sure. And this main table here has been, at least yesterday, it was racking pretty tough. So
there's a few in here.
Yeah.
So table 8, which is the other stream table, the one we're watching now. It traditionally, in the history of Leather Pocket having diamond tables, it is the most unforgiving table out there.
Are
It
the
is the
pockets a little bit
toughest.
tighter?
I can't figure out what it is because they've changed the rails, they've changed the cloth, they've done all those things. It's just that table.
Is the AC pointed to it or something like that? Is it
It
just
could
in a
be.
bad spot?
Yeah, I don't know. But that table traditionally in this pool hall is very, very difficult to make a ball on.
Because I know this table 7 right here that Steven's playing on.
Yeah.
I was having a tough time making the balls on the side. I couldn't get the balls froze, so I just had to go to just smashing them.
Crash it.
Force them to go in. I saw Steven break from the side rail earlier, which is sometimes what you have to do to get the balls to go, or second ball break, or
Yeah. That's kind of my go-to on a diamond is the second ball break.
seaplane take what you make. I don't like that. Just because the head ball break, you get such a better spread. Now I know you can break dry, but if you're hitting them square, you're not supposed to break dry. I just
Yeah.
think it's super tough to run out and take what you make when you're breaking second ball.
Typically, and now yesterday was very atypical, but typically with my second ball break, I get a pretty good spread.
Good.
Yeah.
It's hard to do once
It
you find the
is.
speed.
Yeah.
It's a big weapon.
I had it dialed in last week. I had it dialed in. I was making one of each and having just amazing spread.
Were you pattern racking?
No, not at all. Well,
Joking.
now pattern racking in the sense that I rack the same way every time. Very seldom do I ever defer from that.
Right.
And this is one of those tournaments that I have to defer from that. But I rack the same way all the time. Right. So I have a solid stripe, a solid stripe, a solid stripe, solid stripe, all the way down, with exception to the one at the bottom where you got to flip the 2.
Right.
And I've racked that way for 20 years.
I've racked the same way since I was like 13 or 14 too.
Yeah.
It's not a pattern. It's just like when I break, I like to
consistent.
see. Yeah, I like to see where they go. Like I like to kind of study the rack. Same with 10 ball. I rack the same way every time.
Yeah.
And that way, when I'm breaking, I can kind of see where the balls are going when I'm practicing, and then I can change my speed. I can change, where I break from or the type of hit that I'm using, and I can get the balls that are going to do what I want. So, I mean, in 10 ball, if you're making 2 or 3 balls anyways, the pattern really doesn't matter that much.
Yeah. Update on Steven's match is 6-2. What's your best advice how to cue off the rail? Great question. How do you cue off the rail? Open or closed bridge?
I'd say if the cue ball is within like 3 or 4 inches of the rail, you do a open bridge, and then when it's like 5, 6, 7 inches off the rail or more, do a closed bridge. But it really just depends on what you're doing with the cue ball. I mean, anytime
very
you're jacked
situational
up,
there.
yeah, if you're jacked up, you got to use open bridge, of course.
See, and I'm always an open bridge when my cue ball's froze to the rail.
Oh yeah, you have to be. Yeah, if it's froze to the rail, you just kind of do an extended open bridge, which means you put your fingertips on the back of the rail and use an open bridge and try and give yourself the longest length you possibly can. That way you don't have to jab at the ball.
Take what you make seems to work more like bar rules.
It's definitely a lot more safety play. Runouts are
I
more
don't know
difficult.
if I would say it's like bar rules, because bar rules really, once you pass the break, nothing about it is similar to bar.
I don't even know what ball rules is. People say like you can't shoot a ball off another ball unless you call it like, I don't know. You call your pocket, that's it. Whatever it hits and goes in, it's good.
Yeah. Well, bar rules, you have to call everything. The rub on the rail, off this ball, off that ball.
That's why there's so many drunk arguments.
Yeah. Well, and the thing I don't like, so bar bar room players will argue the fact that bar rules are harder because you don't get ball in hand. And I combat it this way. You don't have to hit a rail. You don't have to even hit your own ball first in bar rules. If I want to play safety and I've got 3 balls lined up along the rail, I
Oh,
can
yeah, 'cause
bump
there's no
into the
ball in
bottom.
hand.
I can bump into the bottom of yours or mine, and there's no actual rules. You're
Yeah,
just out
that's-
slamming balls.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So you tell me what's easier. I don't think bar rules is it. That's not it. That's not the way to do it.
I think the rules that we're playing by are harder because you're going to have more runouts. So your level of play has to be higher because your mistakes at the table are magnified because the players are running out a lot more.
Yeah.
You make a mistake, you're supposed to give up ball in hand if you committed a foul.
Yeah. Well, and I guess the truest sense or the truest definition of bar rules is they change because each
Yeah.
different bar
Yeah.
is going to have their own. They're called house rules,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That were adopted once bars started putting tables in their establishments. And then they came up with their own set of rules and adaptations for what they didn't see, or didn't want to see, or did see. So a lot of bar tables say no jump cues, or a lot of bar rules say no jump cues, or what have you. But that would be, to me, the truest definition of what bar rules are.
Josh wants to know if we're having a raffle. Do you accept money through PayPal to do your raffle and put his name on there?
We do, but we don't do actual raffles. It is and I don't want to seem like I'm being sticky, but I got to be sticky because
Okay.
we were already under the microscope of the AGLC.
Okay.
Right, and we've been hauled in already. We were threatened with $10,000 fine, jail time, so on and so
Oh,
forth for doing
snap.
online raffles. Yeah, because they are illegal. Now, we thought when we were doing it, we had a license, we had a raffle license and all these things. And
Right.
we thought that was good, but that's not good.
If people buy raffle tickets online, it's illegal?
It is,
Really?
yes.
Oh.
Doesn't matter whether you're in Canada or the States.
Some
It
people
is
who just
illegal.
mind their own business.
That's how we got turned in.
Yeah.
Right? Because they don't investigate this
If
stuff.
the person that turned him in is listening, thanks a lot.
Yeah, and
Hope
that
you feel
it
good
can
about
have
yourself.
Yeah, right. So and in fact, I didn't mind when it happened. When I'll clarify. When it happened, yeah, I was choked. But we're not the type that are gonna roll over. Come
Right,
on.
exactly.
All that's gonna do is make me stronger going
Right.
forward. So we got a hold of one of the best attorneys in Canada. He's out of Toronto, and said, "How do we do this?" And this is why I have to be sticky with it. Is our stuff is not a Q raffle; it is a Q giveaway. So
Okay.
quite in fact, when you purchase the Viewer Advantage, which is our pack of discount coupons for Jam Up Apparel, for all of our different sponsors, that's what you're buying.
I gotta say, look at the shot that Alex just played. He made the ball up in the corner and got below those balls to play this one on the side. That
That's
was
sick.
strong right there.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, this
Right,
guy's a bar
he's-
table expert.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if he wins this tournament.
Absolutely. He's a beast. So we contacted this lawyer, asked him how we do all this stuff. So in fact, ours are not that. You purchase this discount package. Within that package is a ticket into our Q giveaway. Right? So it's cutting red tape
Right.
to accomplish pretty much the same thing, but doing it in a legal manner.
Yeah.
For anybody that's interested in that, all of those legalities are on our website, qsportslive.com. But I'll tell you, it's 8 pages of lawyer jargon. And
Wow.
we paid for that dearly to get that information.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Yeah. So quite in fact, we do have the Viewer Advantage going on. It is the winner's choice. You get your choice of the Jacoby Black, the T3 jump break cue. You can pick a JB case plus cash.
Right.
Or you can just cash it all in, take the money and run, and take $620.
Sweet.
Yeah, so those tickets, $20 each if you want in it. qsportslive@gmail.com if you're within Canada. If you are outside of Canada, send a message to the Q Sports Live page. I'll get back to you. I'll let you know how you can get in to win. So that's done at the end of Monday.
There you go, guys.
And it's in doing those that allow us to do what we do as Q Sports Live, to hold
Yeah,
this event
exactly.
and so on and so forth.
Sure.
Right? That's the support we get. that's how we do what we do. Yeah, you're right, Stephen. It's a good point. Bar rules are no rules at all. And that's the best way I can describe it. There's really just no rules. You're out there slamming balls.
Kenny Lee, who is your favorite female player? Boy. To be honest, when my girlfriend is playing, her. And I'm serious. When
Safe answer?
I know I sound biased. She wouldn't care. When she's actually playing and she's into the game, like, she makes the game look easy. Real easy.
And for those that don't know, your girlfriend's name is?
Kayla Rolson. She's from London, Ontario. But she, at one point, was junior Canadian champion. I actually met her at the World Championships in Poland and then got to know her a little bit better. Unfortunately, after one of our best friends passed away, Brendan Crockett. There's actually a Brendan Crockett Memorial Tournament in California towards the end of the year. But Brendan passed away about 3 years ago, and she knew him. And then after it happened, I just messaged her and said, I'm really apologize for what happened with Brendan. I was close with him too, and we just kind of started talking. And then she said, hey, there's a tournament out in Toronto at the Corner Bank. So I went out to a tournament, and she took me to Niagara Falls, and we just hit it off after that.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's a pretty crazy story.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, we miss him dearly.
I think for me, who's my favorite female player? I would have to say in the pro level.
That Siming Cheng is unbelievable. If you've
She's
seen
my
her play.
favorite new addition.
Yeah.
My all-time favorite would be the Duchess of Doom, Alison Fisher.
Allison, yeah, she's up there.
But when I look at kind of those up-and-comers, Siming Chen, but more locally, Brittany Bryant out of Toronto, another one of my all-time favorites.
I've seen Brittany do a lot of good things at Derby.
Yeah, yeah. But then I've got a couple of others. Taruko Cocelli, she's in the States. I can't remember where from. Talent-wise on the table, very talented player. On top of that, just a phenomenal girl, right? So I've got a few. I can't just say.
Brittany's a sweetheart for sure.
Score update 7-3, Stephen over John. And I'll see if Stephanie can grab us a score update on Alex and Kundal. 6-3.
Yeah, Kenny, Christina's playing really well, especially for her age. A little Russian Christina.
Yeah, I can't. Anytime I'm asked about a favorite player, I can't nail it down to one.
Yeah,
Right?
it's too tough.
Too many categories that I put players in.
Look at this break.
So what is, let's see, 2, 4, 6.
Stripes.
It is stripes.
It's a tough out. If you get between the 10 and the side pocket, the right side pocket, you kind of float up there and get the 1 and the 5 out of there.
That is a fairly tough out. I don't know if I'm going to take that for. I think I'm 13 here.
These rails are playing super quick, so it's kind of hard to play little delicate shots to play perfect shape. For me, if he gets out here, it's a great out. He might just go into him hard here. Okay, he didn't. I kind of actually liked hitting the 13 real thin there and going one rail into the 12, kind of firm.
Yeah.
Because you're guaranteeing yourself a shot. You're going to get a shot on the 15 or the 10 on the side or the 12
Right.
if the 12 goes off the 1.
So you would punch into that 12 and try and develop that
Yeah.
12 more so.
just because you can't really use the 15 to get onto the 12 because you're going to bump into it.
Kind of stabbed at that ball a little bit. Right, Clenty Catchy's another one that comes to mind when I think about new upcoming.
He's solid, man.
Yeah.
That guy plays good pool.
Yeah.
He didn't have his best outing at the Moscone Cup, but he plays some great pool, and he's a good person. Really good person. He's one of the guys that I could go out to dinner with and just have a good time. He's a good dude.
Yeah. I've never had the pleasure of meeting him, but from judging, I guess, seems like one of those dudes.
Yeah, he's
a pretty solid guy.
He has a very humble confidence to him. He knows what he's capable of. He will not let you tell him he can't do something, but he's also not arrogant at the same time. Yeah. He has a very good balance there. He's a good kid.
April Larson is not only a great player, but I'll tell you what, that is one of the funnest human beings that I've ever been around.
Yeah.
She's an absolute blast.
I agree. Yeah, there's so many words that could describe April. She might be like the happiest person. Always got a big smile on her face.
Yeah, and she is, she's very positive,
Mm-hmm.
and I love that.
Yeah. Yep.
Right, and she likes to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see if you're ever at a tournament that she's playing in, obviously when she's on the table, she's down to business.
Mm-hmm.
But once the match is done, she's going to be the first one out dancing, singing,
Exactly.
having a great time.
She would be a fun person to be on like a 5-man team with.
Yeah, absolutely. She'd be a blast. Another one that comes to mind, and you may not know her, is Bethany Sykes.
I've seen the name a few times.
Young up-and-comer. And we were in Phoenix at Bull Shooters for one of the NAPT events. It was her first time competing in kind of a major tournament. And you want to see amazing basic fundamentals.
Yeah.
She put on a complete display of that all weekend. She took the tournament down.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Not only was she a great shot, but just her basic fundamentals were completely flawless.
Is this the updated score here for Alex?
I believe so.
6-3.
6-3. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Gotcha. So that is the updated score. Right now we're on Alex Ollinger Kundao.
So here I'd say he should go 2 ball, 6 ball, 5, 4. Oh no, that's a 3. So 2, 6, 3, 4, 5, 8. That looks about right.
I like it.
Unless the 3 goes first, but I don't think the 3 goes past the 6. I think they're froze. And he doesn't have an angle on the 4 either.
They kind of got a little
Bit careless there.
bit.
I mean, you could even shoot
But
the 5 and get yourself back, have a good angle on the 6 again, and use the 4 to get on the 8. But
Yeah.
he'll figure it out. He'll get out of this rack.
I'm pretty sure he'll do what needs to be done. He'll take care of business.
Yeah, he'll get out 99 out of 100 from here.
Yeah. 6-3-5.
The key shot here with the quicker rails is to make sure you get low enough. Like if you're at the side pocket right now, you're not really in a good spot because you have to hit the cue ball super soft. So you have to get past the side pocket to like the second or third diamond, like that. That's what Alex does so well. He draws the ball to right here. That's where he wants it.
Yeah.
So.
Only to about a dime of where you need to be.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's what I saw with him in Vegas is his cue ball control was ridiculous.
Oh, he's a sicko. Yeah, he's a sicko. He'd be a great one-pocket player if he played the game more.
Yeah. Well, and even his kind of his table knowledge sometimes with how he maps out his tables, and I think a lot of that confidence in how he maps those tables and works his way around is the ability to have that cue ball control. And I mean, it's on a string. It was amazing to watch.
Yeah, he knows a lot about the rack. He knows a lot about breaking. His patterns are awesome. He banks really good. All those boys from Ohio bank good. So he's very well-rounded.
Emily Duddy, the 3 UK ladies who play 9-ball. Emily is from New York.
Emily, she was actually out at the Moscone Cup watching us do our work in London, and that was pretty fun. She had a good time.
She always has a good time.
Oh, yeah. Emily always has a good time.
That is for sure. We've
I think her voice was gone by the time the Moscone Cup was over.
I'm sure of that. We had the pleasure of meeting Emily Duddy a few times here in Calgary for the Ashton Twin Classic that's held here in Calgary. That next one for that is early January.
Here on Alex's table, this is the hard part about the take what you make thing, because he's got stripes here. And I usually like to bet on Alex, but I really don't like his chances of getting out here.
Yeah.
Knowing him, he'll make this into a moving game instead of a shooting game. I mean, the 9 might go.
He
I can't
might.
tell.
3 is. Yeah, I can't tell by looking live either. He's bending down. He must be able to get to it. But I mean, there's a lot of trouble, right?
That's a good shot.
11 is trouble. 14's is 14 or 15? That's 15 ball. 15's trouble. 10's a little bit of trouble.
Does a 10 go past the 14 in the upper left? Oh, he's going to draw into the 8 here. Bust that out. That's a good shot. He's just going to snip draw it and bump the 8 a little bit.
Uh-oh. I don't think the 10, I don't think it moved the 1 enough.
Based on his body language, it does not. See, I guarantee this is what he was doing. He was playing shape to make those 2 balls down there by the cue ball, then bank the 11 cross side and go into the 15. That's what he was playing.
Wow.
But now he's going to make it a moving battle and put the cue ball right on the 8.
Hey, Tyler, Dave Parker is one of the best one-pocket players. Okay.
Yeah, me and Dave Parker have had a lot of fun over at Strokers in London. He's a good guy. He's got a lot of heart. He'll pretty much play anybody that walks in the place.
So you know who I was impressed with? And you have to forgive me because I forgot his name, but he's your roommate.
Blake.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know Blake?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
Yeah. I was really impressed with his game.
He's gone from like a 415 or 410 Fargo to a 680, or a 580 in 2 years.
I can tell you, the way that he played, this was at ACS Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that he played in ACS Vegas, he's no 580. He runs higher than that.
See, there are definitely times where he plays better than a 580, but your Fargo is your average. So that's one thing for a lot of amateurs to think about. Like, and my Fargo is like a 750, 740, high 740s or whatever it is. Some days I play like a 700, or if I have a real bad day, a high 600, and some days I play like, I've played like for example, in the World 10 Bowl. Before my last match, I was shooting an 870 Fargo.
Oh, man.
For the whole tournament. Yeah. But after my last match, I finished off with like an 819 or something. Jack Murray told me that. He's works down there.
That's insane.
So.
Well, Blake, I can tell you.
Blake definitely has his days where he's at like a 650.
Yeah.
For sure. But he has his days where he's at a 520 too, I promise. I've seen it.
Well,
and that's kind of what he showed at BCA this year. He did not play his best game.
Well, the one piece of advice I would have given him at ACS is don't get too married to your plan.
Uh-huh.
Right? You've got a table run out, and he's trying to execute, and he got down to the last couple of balls, got out of shape.
He didn't adjust
and he tried to
very well.
force the plan.
Yeah.
And it cost him.
Sure.
Right? And that would have been the piece of advice. Now, I just met him, so I'm not one to jump in and say, hey.
I think a lot of players do that. I think we're all guilty of getting on a line and trying to force what we were going to do instead
Yeah.
of making an adjustment and getting out a different way or playing safe or,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Blake definitely didn't have his best BCA Nationals showing this year.
Yeah.
I think him and his doubles partner, they cashed. I think they were the last, spot to be for cashing, but he didn't cash any of the other events. So back to the drawing board with him. When I get back home, we'll work on a couple things and get him back in stroke. But the hardest part is learning from your losses.
Yes.
And
yeah, of course.
going back to the table and,
Yeah.
you're just eager to get back out there to prove yourself, to yourself and to others that you can do it.
Yeah.
But really, you have to take your time. That's like the best advice someone gave me was, don't be in a hurry. It's going to happen. Just put in the work. Play as many tournaments as you can with good players, and it will happen. But just don't force it. Don't
Yeah.
put any pressure on yourself.
Well, and I think one of the best pieces of advice that I ever got. Now, this is for and by all means, guys, if you want to steal it. For a developing player, you're looking to better your game. You're kind of coming out of that B level into A level, even into the A levels. Is record yourself. Record yourself when you're playing. Take your phone out. While you're practicing, record yourself. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, you want it to be effective practice, right? Don't just go bang balls. Like you said earlier, have something you can keep score with and keep track of what it is you're doing. But visually seeing how you approach the table, how you approach a ball in every kind of different dynamic of the shots
Right.
is pretty crucial information. You can tell whether you're tilting your head, whether you're chicken winging, you
Exactly.
can see exactly how you're executing things. And if you need to change it, you change it. But it was definitely one of the best pieces of advice I ever got. Because from there I went, oh, now I see why I feel or did that. It's because I went like this.
Michael Cunningham, you're welcome. Drive safe, and I hope you get to where you're getting in a timely manner with no traffic and no accidents.
Yes. Careful driving.
And there's this guy from Milwaukee. He drove all the way to Vegas. His name is Mark. He's a good friend of mine, and he's scared to death of planes. He's never been on a plane before.
Really?
No, I think he's in his 30s, and he's never been on a plane. He'd rather just drive. I said, it's more dangerous to drive to Vegas than it is to fly, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm like, come on. I said, we're going to get you on a plane one of these times. And, I'm going to drag you on that thing. And we're going to go somewhere. It can be a short flight. We can just go to like St. Louis or something. It's like
Yeah.
you don't even get to your peak when you're going to St. Louis. You kind of go up and then you go down.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
never flat.
Yeah.
So we got to get him used. Blake didn't like flying either.
Really?
He's like, gee, I'm not flying. He's like, I ain't going there. He's like, I'm driving. I said, Blake, get your ass on the plane. I said, knock it off. I said, you'll be fine.
There's really not a lot to be scared of.
No.
Right? I mean, the planes back in the old days when you didn't have all the instruments and you could really crash a plane just by human error.
Yeah.
Okay, I get
Now
that.
you got two pilots.
Yeah.
Autopilot,
Autopilot,
and all that
auto flight.
crap.
It's all computer
Yeah.
done.
The planes land themselves now.
Yeah. Safest way of travel. Now, the consequences of a failed plane ride can be not good.
Tell you what, this is how much I care. So, the other day, when I flew home from Vegas, this poker player, he added $1,000 to a little tournament, and there were 8 of us at Griff's, and 8 pro players are just sitting around watching Alex Pegulayan play one pocket with this guy. And so he's like, you know what, you bums, get off your butts. I'm going to add $1,000 to a tournament. You guys are going to play a race to 7-10 ball, single elimination, $300 entry fee. So we played this tournament. It started at like 11 o'clock at night, and
Yeah.
my flight was at 9:30. So I never went to bed. I just went back to my hotel at like 7 o'clock in the morning, grabbed my bag, and went to the airport.
Well, the burning question at this point is, did you win the tournament?
I got second.
Attaboy.
Yeah, Jeff DeLuna beat me. Yeah, that hurt. But anyways, I passed out before the plane took off, and then the flight attendant had to wake me up when everybody was off the plane. I never woke up, so that's how much I don't care about flying. I was just passed out.
I'm very similar. I have no fear of flying.
No.
I don't care about the turbulence. I don't care about the bumps. I don't
Nope.
care about none of that.
They'll get me there safe. The one I was on like 13 or 14 flights in 1 month once. So
Yeah.
it's just like I don't care.
Yeah. Well, and I can say this. I've worked high ladder work my entire life.
Okay.
Okay. And I've done work on the top of the Calgary Tower. I would much rather fall from the top of the Calgary Tower than off tall ladders.
Really?
If I fall off tall ladders, I'm going to break and I'm going to hurt. And I'm going to live through that. If I fall from the Calgary Tower,
You're done.
I'm somebody else's problem.
You're gonna meet your maker.
That's it, right? I will then cross over.
Yep.
Right? So I view flying the same thing, right? Chances are that if I go down in a plane, one of two scenarios will happen. I'll freak out. I've never skydived before in my life, but put me in a scenario where the plane's going down, give me a parachute, and I'll take my chances.
Right.
The other scenario is there is no parachute. I'm not in that type of plane. I'm going down with the plane, and I'm going to be somebody else's problem.
Yeah.
Right? Whoever the investigating company is, they'll figure it out. Right? I don't have to worry
Yeah.
about it.
I just, get over the fact that this might be the last time this is my last day I'm getting on this plane. It is what it is. You know what
right.
I mean?
That's right. Well, and that's the thing, right? And the reality is, if it's that time, it's that time.
Someone wants to know what happened to Steven's match. That's Steven won, correct?
Yes, 9-4.
Yeah, 9-4. There you go, Tony.
Yeah, and guys, bear with me. I know that you guys are all acclimated to the fact that I normally keep score and do play-by-play and all of those other things.
Slacking today.
Yeah, it's a relaxed day today.
That's why you wanted me to commentate, so you didn't have to keep track of the score.
Well, yeah,
I see now.
I put in a long week getting ready for this event and getting everything prepared, and I needed some time off. And you know what? Honestly, when I have guests in, and we can have good conversation, I don't care about the score. I just enjoy the conversation. I enjoy getting inside the mind of my guest commentators. And guys, correct me if I'm wrong. It's been good getting inside the mind a little bit of Tyler Steyer.
Man, this guy puts everything to his break.
Yeah, Kundao.
He's not very big, but he gets the balls to move.
He's a little vertically challenged. But Kundao is super nice guy.
We were having an argument the other day about, is it more beneficial to be shorter so your stance is more consistent and you're lower to the table playing pool, or is it better to be taller? I think it's better to be shorter.
I would being a tall guy myself,
It's terrible, ain't it?
it sucks.
That table gets lower and lower every day.
Yeah, gets harder for me to.
Yep.
I have to push myself up off the table.
How many world champions are there over 6 foot? I'll wait.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting.
yeah.
There's not very many of them.
No.
All the Taiwanese and the Filipinos. A lot of the Europeans are short, too.
You're a victim of your own excellence.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Thanks, Steven.
And I don't mind getting inside the mind. Trying to figure out your successes. Impart some wisdom on perhaps a few areas. I know you won't give me all your trade secrets.
Nope, you're not getting them.
I got one.
You got
I
one.
got one.
Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, of course.
All right,
but
don't
I'm not
repeat
going to
it.
say it because I want everybody to know the trade secret, but I want to know. How tall is Strickland?
He's around 6 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's just a different animal, though.
He is. For you two, what are your thoughts on winter breaks versus alternate? You go first.
For any race 9 or shorter, I like alternate. For any race longer than that, I think winter break.
I think it depends on the scenario. I'm very situational.
I've won a lot of winter break tournaments, so I'm biased.
Yes, well, of course. But if, for example, it's a money match, then it's obvious to me that it's winter break, right? If you're going to put 5 or 10K in the middle, and that's what y'all are playing for, to me that's a fairly obvious move.
Right.
And it's got to be winter breaks.
You never see money matches played or two-man tournaments played with alternate break.
Yeah. In a Pro-Am event, such as what we're playing here, I like alternate.
Sure. Yeah, like
Try to even out the
sure. The break room tournament in Duluth, Minnesota. One of my favorite events, by the way, is this race to 15, take what you make, bar table 8 ball, winter breaks.
Wow.
It's just a slugfest. $1,000 entry fee, and it's obviously invitational, so it's only pros. So there, I think just the winter break.
Yeah.
I mean, Omar broke and ran the first 9 against Shane, the first match.
What?
Yeah. Omar Al Shaheen. Yeah, so it's I think I don't know. The fans like close matches, hill matches, and
For
a
sure.
lot of tension. But they also like to see that kind of stuff.
Oh, of course.
So you really can't get the best of both worlds because the chances of two players putting down 6, 7, 8 racks in a row aren't very high. Shane didn't look too happy in his chair. He ended up coming back and double dipping me in the finals. I think Omar ticked him off a little bit because, he put a beat down on me in the finals. So.
Tony says he met you at Strokers and told
Yeah.
Ben you're going to win this tournament.
What up, T-Money, Tony? He told Ben I'm going to win this tournament. Well, I hope you're right. I'll buy you a drink if you're right.
That question came up, was it yesterday? As to who in this room would be favored to win. And there's a few. I can't
Say that one more time. I was reading the comments. I didn't hear what you said.
That's all right. That comment or question was posed yesterday as to who's favored to win in this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And the obvious ones, I can't just say, yeah, Tyler's he's favored to win.
Mm-hmm.
I can't, because there's a lot of talent in the room. John Moore, Klatt, can't count out Klatt.
Mm-hmm.
Can't count out Alex Olinger. I can't count out Steven.
Yeah,
There's-
I think.
there's, I mean, on any given day, it can be either one of those. Yourself, so on and so
Yeah,
forth.
definitely. This is with the race to 9, all of us are definitely in contention.
Yes.
Yeah, the little bit longer race, like a race to 15 or something. I think
Yeah.
a few of the players were to get winged down a little bit.
I agree.
But
But race to 9.
wow, Alex just made a great shot. If anybody just saw what Alex just did, that shows you a lot about his
It'll
game.
be replayed right here.
So he plays this ball, the 3 in the side, and hits the 5. So he makes a 7, makes the 2.
Look at this.
Yeah. But he does it all the time. That's not like a one-off thing for him.
Look at that gentle touch there with live rails. Wow. Sorry, guys. We were
I'm talking
watching it
about
replay.
the 3 in the side, he breaks out the 5.
Yeah.
On his shot coming up here.
But even on that, whatever ball he just potted here, to play that light off those rails.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets out. That's craziness.
Yeah, all you guys talking about the centered edge stuff. Stan has a ton of info on his YouTube page. And then he's obviously writing a book right now. A lot of you guys know about that. Book is at the publisher, so it's out of his hands. Hopefully it's done, this fall, end of summer, beginning of fall, somewhere around there. But it really gives me a strong foundation for my game. It's kind of hard to explain online, so just go ahead and check out the YouTube videos, and he'll have some free videos coming out pretty soon for you guys to learn. So just keep your eyes open for that.
hey, you're welcome, Kenny. It's definitely one of the things that at Q Sports Live we definitely try to do is always interact with the viewers.
I think Alex is going to be stripes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, he's stripes.
Oh, excuse me. Now, I don't know whether he's actually at 7 or whether he got on the hill. I think I might have
I think
missed
he
a
just got to 7 because that game was kind of long. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We'll find out in a second because I think he's out here. If he can float this ball on the side, anybody want to bet even money he's out? So here he'll shoot the 11. He might draw and try and nick the 7. I don't think the 12 goes from there. Maybe it does.
I don't think it goes from there. Not the 12 ball.
I'm not going to bet against him. We'll figure it out.
I like that first shot. The 11 draw, just tap that.
Yeah, you want to hit like a quarter of it.
Yeah.
And then I don't think the 9 passes the 10 either. So he's going to have to shoot the 10 first. He's too straight on the 11, so he can't shoot it right now. You're going to shoot the 10, go one rail between the 9 and the 1. Like that, kind of. Now he'll go at the 11. Here, though, that's
you
kind
just
of tough.
slow roll with left, maybe? And try to brush off that?
Kind of hope for like a little double kiss there.
Yeah, kind of brush off and tap into the...
But he's going to use the 9 to get a better angle on it. Because I don't really like the 9 getting to the 8. Unless he has a good angle here. He might be able to stun draw into the 7 here.
It's kind of a different angle for us to try and see.
Mm-hmm.
It's always tough on...
That
Oh,
was
great
good.
touch.
Yeah.
Hey, you're welcome, Mike. We appreciate you tuning in.
See, with the live rails here, how do you get on the 8? Do you just kind of pinch draw this ball back? Or is he spinning out 3 rails? This ain't easy.
No,
I kind of like just shooting a stop shot. I like just coming out right behind the 1.
Yeah,
and
I'll take
shoot
the
it.
longer shot. I like
Yeah.
that.
I don't even
if
like
I
him.
just float that 9 in.
You might just hit this ball with a little bit of high left, or the high right. I'm sorry, let the right bring the cue ball off the rail. And just take. I mean, it's a bar table. You're never gonna miss that 8 ball. But drawing it back here, it could get kind of funny. Oh wow.
Unless you hit it like
Yeah,
that.
unless you.
How about you just hit it perfect?
Yeah, you put it on a dime.
Right?
Pinhead.
That's crazy. He has such good cue ball control.
Told you he was out, guys. Go ahead, I can take over from here. Grant's gonna go he's gonna go solve a racking issue. So in this particular tournament, when you're racking the balls, you're allowed to put the 1 in front if you want to. But the only other moves you're allowed to make is put the 8 in the middle and then make sure a solid and a stripe is on the corners. That's all you can do. You can't put stripes or solids in certain situations. That's just not allowed. So 8 in the middle, solid stripe on the corners. That's it. No pattern racking. No thumbing the 1 ball or fingering the 1 ball like some people say. You're not allowed to move the 1. You're only allowed to push the back 5 balls forward and lift the rack off. So no rack manipulation this weekend. But that's good for the viewers. You'll see a lot of hard breaks. The balls aren't guaranteed to go on the side, so it's good for everybody. And yes, that is the match. Alex was on 8 already. Mike, you're welcome, and I'll try and join in again when I have some free time. I really don't like to commentate right before I play. I just kind of, I don't know, I feel weird about it. I start thinking about too many things. So I don't have to play any more matches today, so that's why I jumped on. So I play tomorrow at 2 o'clock. But Alex's match is done, so we're going to go for a run. We're going to go to the Nike outlet store and see if there's any goodies over there.
I'm fairly certain that you're going to find something.
I mean, we're going to find some goodies.
You're going to find a little something.
think so?
Now, which Nike store are you going to?
It's north of here?
Cross Iron?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? There's some goodies over there?
Take your wallet.
Oh, boy.
Take your bank card.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Tyler, listen, I really appreciate you sitting in with me. I appreciate all the knowledge that you shared with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
We wish you nothing but the best in the future.
Thank you.
Best in this tournament. And I hope this isn't the last that we see you here in Calgary.
No, it definitely won't be. I'll be
Awesome.
back for sure. But thanks, everybody, for the good questions. Thanks for tuning in. The more viewers we can get, the better our sponsors are taken care of, and the more tournaments we can play. So,
Absolutely.
thanks a lot, Grant.
100% agree with you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Guys, we're actually going to do a quick shutdown restart before we get into too many more matches here. We're running on almost 4 hours of run time. Appreciate everybody tuning in, guys. If you can, we'll be back here in about 5 minutes. We'll get the next set of matches locked, loaded, ready to go, and we'll get back into doing some commentating. And again, Tyler, he's gone already, guys, but I got to thank him again for him to take the time out of his day to come down, sit down with us, and share some knowledge with us. We really appreciate it here on Q Sports Live. So on behalf of myself, Tyler Steyer, Ben Francis, the rest of the Q Sports Live team, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I'll be back here in a quick 5 minutes. We'll see you then.